Welcome back to the TODcast. This week on it, we've got
Miles
and Dan.
And I'm Justin.
And this is week 3 or
episode 3,
attempt 3. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna count the first two.
No, we are.
Or 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I already put this episode 1 right here.
Oh,
dude,
nice.
This is Todd the Third.
Todd the
3.
Todd
Third
Senior is
cast.
pretty
We're toddlers
fucked.
now.
Yeah.
It's 3 years old.
It's the third cast.
Yeah.
3 episodes old.
This one will. If this is Todd 3, then or Todd the Third. Todd Senior was inbred or some shit. 'Cause he was pretty fucked. Like
Look, just because Godfather 3 sucked doesn't mean that this is gonna suck.
I don't think I've ever watched that movie all the way through.
Nobody's ever seen it all the way through.
I watched the first 2 and I was like, yeah,
They fired
Godfather
the editor.
3.
They had to come back and fire the editors after every half hour of editing because they couldn't make it.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
So bad.
Imagine someone hands you a fucking film to edit like 43 minutes in, and they're like, "The first guys killed themselves. It's you. You're up next.
You're
Go."
just like, I'm out of here. Yeah.
No context. Start from here, and that's it. That's all you got.
They put you in a clean room, like take your belt away.
No shoelaces.
The last guy hung himself with his belt.
Would you still take the job?
No.
What if they're paying a lot?
If it was for what's his name, I would. Who made those movies?
Coppola?
Yeah, Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
work
it.
for him.
Knowing that the last guys killed themselves because they couldn't make it through it.
Yeah, but they weren't me.
Yeah,
That's true.
We've made Dan seen some shit.
They weren't me, dude.
They
They
haven't
haven't seen
what
what
you've
I've seen. That's right.
So can we talk about
My little trip.
about the brownies you ate
Yeah,
recently?
I took a trip. Man.
You took a trip.
So I was at work the other day at where we work, and some stoner
The
kid
place
came
we
to
work?
order. Yeah, Domino's, whatever.
Whoa.
He came to order, and he had left his bag of weed in the lobby. And it was yeah. So I didn't know. Some kid, one of the kids that was working for me, he was like, "Miles, look what I found!" And he opened it, and you could smell it immediately. And it was enough.
It was Brad. He didn't know, like...
Yeah, well, I wasn't
he didn't even know what it was, probably.
I wasn't going to say his name because I don't want to do more censorship shit, but whatever.
It's
not
oregano,
hard.
dude.
Okay.
Put
the Brad back in the bag.
Right.
We're not taking out Brad.
Sprinkle it on a thin crust pizza and get out of here.
That's right.
No,
Call a lawyer.
Yeah. What if he did? A little fucking... Whatever. I brought it home with me. Jason wanted nothing to do with it. He immediately was like,
just don't bring that stuff.
yeah,
into the
don't
house.
ever bring this around again. I was like, okay, officer, my bad, whatever.
But it was free drugs, so
It was free drugs, so I took it home with me, and I did it right. I've never made brownies before. I've only ever smoked weed. I've never ingested it, or if I have, I've never made it. I've never eaten it before because this is my first time doing it. That's why I guess it hit me so hard.
No, it hit you so hard because you literally ate the whole fucking pan.
I ate the whole pan.
You from probably like midnight till 6. You every half hour you just go to the pan. I don't feel anything yet. Just shove these brownies into his mouth.
Yeah, I ate a whole pan of pot brownies. I made them right too. I made the can of butter, is what all these fucking nerds on the internet were calling it, and I baked it into the mix. And we baked them. They tasted good. I thought they tasted good.
They tasted pretty good.
I only tasted a little bit of weed. Other than that, it was good. I got the double.
There wasn't
fudge,
much
Betty
weed,
Crocker.
so he was making them, and I don't like smoking weed, and I just don't like the feeling of being high or whatever. I'd rather be drunk. But he made them, and I was like, there wasn't much weed, and he probably fucked it up. So I really want brownies, so I ate 2 of them.
I did not fuck it up apparently. Because we
didn't
watched.
feel anything till
what did we watch?
morning.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, we watched The Dark Knight Rises. It was like the 10th anniversary of that movie coming out, and that's one of my favorite movies.
So we watched that, and that was a while, and then we worked on some shit. And I went to bed. We were probably went to bed like 6 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
I woke up at 4 in the afternoon the next day. I thought I was gonna die. Like
I called him. I was like, "Bro, you want to come?" I was already gone. Like I'd been up, and I went over to my parents' house and was swimming. And I was like, "Hey man, you want to come over and swim?" Because I knew it was his day off. And he was like, "Yeah, just give me a minute." And then he texts me. And he's like, I don't feel good. And then I get a text like a second later. It's like, can you help me? And I was like, oh, God.
No, okay. But
I was worried, dude, because like for me to text someone, can you help me? Like it would take a lot for me to do that.
Yeah, I know. And it was, I didn't feel high. I think it was just because it hit me all at once right when I woke up. But I stood up, and I guess the feeling of all the blood kind of, going down. I could hear the AC humming, and I could hear my heartbeat, and I could feel like all the veins in my head. Like just dum, 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 dum. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I felt weird. And then I this is what freaked me out, and I feel so stupid about texting you. Can you help me when I heard this?
No.
Is that I could hear my heartbeat, and then I couldn't hear my heartbeat, and I thought it stopped. Like a fucking I was just like, oh, I can't hear it anymore.
And he could barely walk down the
Yeah,
stairs.
it was a fucking mission for me to get down those goddamn stairs.
Hey, Justin, bring your defib over here.
Yeah. When he texted me that, I was like, do you need to go to the hospital? I was like already in my car.
I didn't want to, but that's the thing is that as soon as I realized, I was like, oh, I'm high, like duh, and everything kind of leveled out a bit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, I'm fine. I'm just fucking. But for a minute, because I had forgot I even ate them. I woke up and I felt I've never felt high like that before. Because I guess it's different when you eat it than when you smoke it.
It's different when you eat a whole pan of it. Than when
Yeah,
you smoke a little
it
bit.
hit me way too hard, and it hit me when I didn't. Like if it had happened that night and I was ready for it, I probably would have been fine. I've been like, this is what I was waiting for, and it didn't fucking happen. And the fact that I woke up the next day and I couldn't do shit. Like even when you called me, I don't know if I sounded weird, but in my head when I was talking,
pretty weird. Well,
yeah,
because I was on the way over there. After he texted me, I was like, Jason, can you come with me? Like, we need to go help Miles. And then we're like on 34 on the way over there. And I call him like, hey man, like you doing all right? You still need me to come over? And he's like, no, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm gonna come over and swim.
That was part of what got me out of it. Is you calling me?
Yeah.
Was that I had answered it and it kind of I was able to kind of rethink everything and I was like, no, I'm just fucking high. I don't think I said that, but in my head I was like, that's what's going on. And it kind of, I guess it was just paranoia. Like, I didn't expect to be feeling like that. So when I did, it freaked me out.
That's why I don't like to get high, dude. It's
Yeah.
paranoia.
Whatever. And then yeah. Then all day, we were I basically was just getting dragged around by them because I made the decision that I didn't want to drive anymore. Because I drove to your parents' house and I drove back, and that drive was like a fucking nightmare. Like every time I saw brake lights, I was like slamming on my brake, like, "Oh shit!" It was so scary.
The reaction time.
Yeah, it was so off,
You're
and
going
like
14 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if any cops had saw me, they'd have been like, "That dude's fucked up."
As soon as we were all in the backyard swimming, and as soon as he showed up and opened the fence, I could tell that he was like fucked up. His eyes were like tiny little slits, and his hair was just like all like pointing one direction.
I was so fucked.
Oh,
I couldn't.
God.
And we went. Apparently, I don't remember going to GameStop, or I think I remember going. I just don't know what the fuck I did there.
We went to GameStop. We went to Barnes and Noble.
I don't remember Barnes and Noble at all. Like at all. I don't remember going in the
then-
building.
And then we went to Red Robin to like meet with this group of people to eat, and Mia's mom was there, and she like saw
Yeah.
Miles. Yeah, and she was like,
I don't remember this at all.
and she was like, "Are you following me?" And he was like, "What?" No.
And then yesterday I was working with her and she's like, "Your roommate told on you." I was like, "What do you mean?" And I forgot that you had told her about what had happened.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, he told me that the other day when I saw you, you were really high. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't remember seeing you at all. I'm sorry." And she was like, "Really? You don't remember what I said to you?" I was like, "Not a bit." I don't. And then you guys' friends from church too were freaking me the fuck out, like, because they kept talking to me like I'm sure I knew some of them for them to talk to me like that. But this one lady,
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah, they were just probably trying to be nice. But this one lady looked at me. I remember this specifically because it freaked me out so much. She pointed at me, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's up?" And she pointed at me, and she was pointing at my fucking hat, this hat right here. And it's a Chance the Rapper hat. She's like, "Do you like Chance the Rapper?" And I was like, "I don't know why." And she was
and
like,
I like turned around and the insert form was like, "Yeah, Chance signed that hat."
"Yeah, thank God you stepped in," because I was like, I thought I was under interrogation. I was like, I forgot I was wearing the hat even. I didn't know I was wearing it. I was just like, "Why? What's going on?"
Could you read my mind?
Yeah, and I forgot I even like Chance the Rapper. Really, like that question meant nothing to me, basically.
You're like, what are you talking about?
Because I'm not as much into it now as I was when I got this. So I guess, like, yeah, I'm sure if this had all happened, half a year ago, I'd have been like, "Fuck yeah!" But
I don't know. After a
Yeah.
whole pan of brownies.
yeah, I was that shit, and then I spent fucking $16 at Red Robin's, which I don't like Red Robin's. It's a
not
waste of
that
my
good.
money. Yeah, that's $16 is a lot for me too, because I'm a broke boy.
Yeah.
I spent that money, and then we came back and played a board game, which I basically had Jason play for me, or a card game or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I remember Jason was just like my guy. Like I would just be holding him, and I'd be like, play these, and then he'd take them and play them. And then when he had to get me add more cards to my hand, he'd hand them to me and be like, "Thanks."
That's how 5-year-olds play those games.
Yeah, I was basically a 5-year-old.
Here, let Daddy see. Okay, do you have any 7s? Yes, see, you have a 7. Put that down.
That's what a
Yeah.
7 is.
Yeah, it was, and then I had your sister and Sydney and Caitlin. I guess Caitlin, Amber, and Sydney. I don't know why I said one name and the other not. But I had them take me to Quick Trip after you went to sleep to get
Oh,
food
really?
because I was fucking starving. I was
Oh, I
so
bet.
hungry. And then I bought a bunch of food that I didn't need, and I opened it in bed with me, and I was eating it in bed, and then I passed out with it all open in bed, and woke up the next day and just had ruined my bed. Like there was I had chocolate pretzels, and I had opened it, and I guess they fell out, and I'd been rolling in my sleep, so I just mashed them in. Like I had to wash all my sheets, and there were wrappers everywhere. I spilt a big 32-ounce drink that I didn't drink. I had to clean my whole room that next day. It was, and then the next day too, everyone was like, "You have a good time, buddy? You feeling better?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm great. Fuck you."
That's exactly how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Hey buddy, how you doing?
Oh, it was bad. It was fun, you know. The time when it was happening, parts of it were fun, and then parts were really scary. And then like the next day, I guess it was like a second part 2 day because I was floating the next. I felt great.
Yeah, you know, I mean, your eyes were.
Yeah, I was enough there to where I could do especially talking.
Yeah,
talking was the biggest thing. Was my tongue felt like it was so fucking heavy I couldn't say shit. Like. That waiter kept freaking me out too because he
was a weird guy.
He was a weird guy. Thank you. I thought part of it was just that part of it probably was that I was so fucked up. But I did not know. Every time he'd be like, "So what will you be having tonight, sir?" It was like, oh like, what do I say?
He kind of looked and acted like a polite, like T.J. Miller, the bartender from the Deadpool movies.
Yeah, he looked a lot like that.
He did look like.
And then he when he went to hand me my drink, you know, it looked like he was reaching it towards me, and so I wanted to reach up for it. And then he went past my hand and put it on the table, and. Caitlin and Jason thought that was the funniest shit in the world. I saw them cracking up, and I heard her say, she's like, "He doesn't know what to do with the water," and I was like, I don't know what's happening.
I remember you telling me, you're like, I hope this waiter fills this water like every 5 minutes.
I was draining that shit.
Much.
Yeah, I was draining that shit. That was another thing too. I drank so much water I had to pee really bad, and in my head I was like, I'm really high. I hope I don't pee in my pants because I can't. I don't think I have the brain power to ask where the bathroom is and walk to it right now.
I always have that thought in my head, like if I'm really drunk or if
at a restaurant.
No, like
anywhere
around anybody.
Okay, cool.
Not that I'm peeing my pants, but like if I go pee, then I come back. If I'm really drunk or if I am even a little high, I'm like. Did I put my dick back in my pants? That's my number one fear that I didn't.
Well, I wear a lot of sweatpants, so it's hard. There's no, I don't do, even when I wear jeans, I don't do the little thing because I don't like putting my dick through a zipper hole.
No, I do that too.
Okay.
But
you just think you have your dick hanging out the top?
Yeah.
I don't do the undo. I just rip it down and just push it back.
I was going to say, I just pop my dick out the top. I don't ever.
Yeah, but then I'm afraid that it's still just poking out.
Yeah.
And so I check like 16 times.
It's a weird thing. Yeah, I guess.
It's hilarious. One of the things, something I still do sometimes, and I haven't had a drink in 14 years, but I used to get drunk so much and do so much dumb crap when I was drinking. I had this bad habit of peeing on the closed toilet seat. Like, I'd just be like, oh crap,
Yeah.
Stop and then lift it up, just made this huge mess. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I did that in somebody's house, it was like a nice house, and I'm in there.
You know what? At least you made it to the toilet, though. Like,
well, I haven't always. I got stories about that too, man.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
For April Fools, my dad used to put saran wrap over the toilet, so you pee on it and then just pee on the saran wrap.
Oh man,
classic.
That's man.
That's
Dude,
a
I once,
good dad joke right there.
That is.
I once went down to Savannah, where my buddy goes to college, and I watched him. Yeah, no, actually not SCAD. It's in Statesboro. That's where he went to college.
Oh,
so I was just close enough to go to Savannah. But we got like really messed up, and one of his friends like didn't know when to quit, and he like slipped and fell and like dislocated his knee or something like that. And was like just laying on the floor in my friend's room, and my friend had already passed out. But this guy's like moaning and wailing about his knee, and my friend gets up out of bed and starts pissing all. He pulls down his pants, starts pissing all over his own bed with his girlfriend in it, and with the guy just like leaning up against it.
What the fuck?
And I just hear the guy goes like, "What the fuck?" And then my friend gets done pissing, like pulls his pants up and then lays down in the piss.
Not that.
Oh my gosh, dude! One time when I was in, we were stationed in Memphis, so I was really young. I was probably still 19 years old, and we would go out and just get smashed every night. And then we'd go to these bars and they'd get a pitcher, and I would just sit there without the marks on my hand where I could get a drink, and they'd get a pitcher and just give me a cup, and I would drink that.
Yeah.
So I would get smashed and couldn't handle it very well. So we had these 3-man barracks rooms, right, with these real shiny floors. And one night I just got up there, and the bathroom was down the hall. They didn't have a bathroom in the room, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So one night I just got up. I don't even remember doing it. I just got up and peed all over the floor. And got back in bed. And then the guy that I was sharing a room with was this real country guy. Really, he was so country, like his combat boots were like his first pair of shoes. Like this guy, like, you know, he thought Memphis was the biggest thing he'd ever seen in his life. I think it's from Kentucky, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, he got out of his bed and went to walk across the floor to go out to go pee or whatever. When he got up later and slipped and fell in my piss or whatever, and he's like, "Dude, did you piss on the floor?" You know, and I'm like, "Dude, I don't know, man. It wasn't me." There's like nobody else in there, you know. And he's like, "Dude, it smells." I'll never forget this. He goes, "Dude, it smells like pickles." He didn't even really get that mad. He could have whooped my ass. He was like, I was at the time, I probably weighed 150 pounds before pissing.
Before pissing.
BP.
So it was like 100
before piss. So I was probably 142 pounds at the time.
Yeah.
And then one time I pissed in my roommate's filing cabinet.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good place for that.
With all his important documents.
Oh, dude. He was. I was in the Marines. He was in the Army. He was my college roommate. And where our house was set up, we rented this house when we were in college. And I walked. My bedroom was sort of the end of the hall. So I walked down the hall. If you make a right, you go to the bathroom, where the toilet seat was presumably up. Or you make a left and you end up in the spare room we had, and he went out. He had all of his Star Wars figures set up in there. He was that guy. Like I had them too, but like he had them on display. Like the Millennium Falcon, the Death Star with that little monster in the frickin' the trash compactor.
Yeah.
I mean, everything was in there perfect. He had all those up on these shelves, but he had a filing cabinet, and in there he had all of his Army awards, like. You know, he was like a tank driver, so he had all these things. Yeah. And I went in there, opened the filing cabinet drawer, and pissed right in his drawer. And of course, I didn't do it on purpose. I thought that was the toilet. But I remember him going, "What are you fucking doing?" You know, and this heartbreak. You know. Yeah. And I was like, "Shh, what?" You know.
You just rationalize anything when you're drunk. It's like, this toilet's weird. It has a drawer. I've never done that before.
What a cool idea.
3018 in this place.
What a cool idea. So, I mean, I felt so bad about that, dude. I actually didn't drink for like 2 weeks, which back then was like, you know, freaking, I could have, you know, been in the Olympics or something more likely than me not drinking for 2 weeks. Right? So, and then that night, I think I slept in my car the rest of the night. I was so ashamed. Yeah. It was the worst feeling. He was up the next morning. He had a hairdryer. He was blow drying all the shit. And he was so cool, but he was just like, dude, it was just beer coming out. I don't even smell it, just like water blowing, drying right off. He wasn't even that mad about it because he got just as drunk all the time.
Right, so it's crazy how forgiving people can be sometimes.
Didn't have a leg to stand on about that.
That is crazy. If you ever get in my room and piss in one of my things, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
I've never not pissed in a toilet. Other than just like outside, you know, in like an open field or something.
I've never peed anywhere I didn't mean to pee.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say that.
That's a good thing to be able to say. I've never peed anywhere I didn't mean to pee.
I can't say that at all.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I'm sure I'll get there one day.
I'll get that drunk one day.
Yeah.
It's on my bucket list.
So speaking of that whole region of the body, the urinary tract area.
Yeah.
So last week, it wasn't even a week ago now, it was Thursday of last week, I started feeling this weird feeling. And I felt it before. 25 years ago, I had a hernia surgery, right, when I was still active duty. And had been perfect, fine, whatever. They put a big piece of mesh in there and all that crap. Well, it came back. So Thursday, I was like not feeling too good at work. I knew I had this whole next week coming off. You know, I was like, should have been in a great mood. Everything was going good at work. But I was just kind of hobbling around and just feeling like crap. Friday it was worse. So Saturday morning, I spent the whole morning of Saturday at the ER, you know, going in and they did an ultrasound, then they did a CAT scan, and they were like, just to tell me what I already knew. They're like, yeah, you got a hernia. I was like, really? No. Shit. Yeah. Now that we got that out of the way, what are we going to do about it, you know? And so basically I just got to get surgery. But it's like the world's easiest surgery.
Oh, is it?
You know, okay. It is. It's really not a big deal. It's like the most common surgery performed in the freaking world.
Wow.
Like everybody, hernias are super, super common.
Yeah.
Super common.
You know, it's funny. I think my sister's roommate has like a very similar thing, and she has to have surgery. It's just like a little like hernia thing.
So all it is like your muscle wall like splits open. Like the doctor did this number to show me, right? Like a basket weave. And then what happens is, in my case, what makes it bad for men in that area is that it's like your intestines can push through, and then they wind up in your nutsack.
Oh, that would be bad, yeah.
Well, and that, of course, it just right now it's not that severe because it haven't gone that far down. Because I know what the feeling is, and I was like,
right.
Let's get some help over here. Because when I was younger, I didn't know, and it was all down, and it was really bad. Yeah, it was horrible.
So.
I had it was that deal where you go into the doctor and they're like, so I hear you have a hernia, and you show them, and they're like, oh my god, bring in the new people. I've never seen anything like this. So at one point, I was dropping my trousers, and like 13 people were coming in with scratching on notepads. Oh man, is that? I'm like,
Yeah. So it hurts, don't touch it.
And then, it was just like a Lance Corporal, so they're all captains and lieutenants and crap coming in there and, poking and prodding at you, But yeah, so I'm gonna have to get surgery for that. And so right now I'm just floating on a sea of ibuprofen.
I was gonna say they gave you some shit so that you're not as...
Well, I don't like taking any kind of pain meds. And I have a whole other story beyond that, but I don't want to focus on my genitalia for the entire show. Maybe I'll tell that story another time. But yeah, pain meds and I don't really get along all that well, so right now it's just a lot of ibuprofen until... Because it's weird, it comes and goes. So if you stay still, it'll stay inside, but if you strain, that rip in the muscle will open and stuff will start coming through. And then it's just this awful... It feels like you got kicked in the nuts 5 minutes ago. You know how that feeling? How it takes a long time for the feeling to go away. Yeah, that's the feeling.
Like the residual.
Feeling. Yeah. Because you're. I guess everything is. There's actually these big strings that kind of go up in your stomach. That's part of your testes, whatever. Testes. So yeah, that's kind of getting pressure on it or whatever. It's not the end of the world, but just one of those things that happens. So lucky me.
Yeah. Surprised that's surgery. The most common surgery.
That's just what I've been told, yeah. They say, man, they do these things
I didn't know that many people were getting hernias. What causes that? Is it just something that happens from time to time?
You strain, weightlifters get them all the time. You've heard sports hernias and stuff. Now, you can get hernias in a lot of places, but that's the most common, for men, I guess. They call it's inguinal hernia.
Inguinal.
It's better than, dick hernia.
Yeah, nutsack hernia.
Yeah.
So the real danger is that you'll get a bowel in there and it'll get twisted and it'll cut the blood flow off to it, and that can kill you.
Yeah,
and that's freaking you're done for. You know what I mean? You'll get real sick.
So you gotta get them to know pretty quick.
Yeah, you need to get it. This needs to be taken care of. But what's crazy is I was watching because I'm thinking, I'm off this week. I'm not getting a surgery. Surgery's not going to be something they can schedule for. Day after tomorrow, come on in at 2, we'll knock it out. I'm sure it's going to be a 3 week or a month or who knows what to schedule it. So I was looking up ways to kind of work around it until I get the surgery done. And there's people on YouTube all over the place going I've had mine for 5 years. I just wear this special kind of belt, and I just every time I take a dump, I just put my arm under there, and quit having sex or eating food that I like, so I don't get constipated and all this crap. And I'm like, dude, that's no way to live, man. It's an easy surgery.
Yeah.
People are so scared of having a surgery. And it's it's not. I had it once before. They didn't even knock me all the way out. I can remember laying there and they had put a sheet up so I couldn't see.
Yeah, I was going to ask if they didn't even knock you all the way out.
I could feel them tugging and moving. It felt like they were...
It didn't hurt. You just felt the pressure?
You just feel the pressure. You feel things moving around.
1 to 10.
It wasn't it was... At the surgery part was probably a 2. It was just it was uncomfortable.
Okay.
And you knew they're down there, where you don't want them to mess anything up. So it's a little bit, of a mind fuck.
How about the pain, that you were feeling the other day?
I mean, it's not super intense, but it's so uncomfortable because no matter how you adjust or whatever, it doesn't make you feel better. You know what I mean? You move and you're thinking, if I move over here, this will feel better, and it doesn't feel better. The only thing that really made me feel any better at all is believe it or not, I took a hot bath, and then it kind of everything settles down. But the key now, so the other day I was at work and I jacked my son's car up and was taking a wheel off, and then I was like, that was fucking stupid because then...
Yeah, any sort of strenuous
exactly.
activity.
So today I've just been taking her easy.
Yeah, I would. That's
kind of chilling out.
Just go chill at the beach and
I'm just gonna go to the
do
beach.
a fucking thing.
I just got a I forget what you call them. I just got a Kindle.
Oh, okay.
Because I really felt bad about it. I haven't been reading as much, so I thought I'm just gonna They were on sale that Prime Day or whatever on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Refurbished Kindle was like $70. So I was like, pew, did that, and so now I'm like, I'm trying to get back into reading mode.
Cool. That was one of my goals for this year, is to read a book a week. Kind of falling behind.
That's a lot. I'm not a big reader. Like it has to be like if someone brings me a book and they're like, I know you like this, so you'll like this. Then I'll read it. But it's hard for me to go find something to read and just be like, this looks interesting.
I don't like fiction.
You don't like fiction at all?
I mean, it's okay.
I like both.
If I'm reading something, it's usually like psychology, business, health, or yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it.
I kind of like stuff like that. I like fiction too, though. I like if it's a good story or if it's one where I'm interested in all the characters and what they're doing. Yeah,
Harry Potter books are great.
I love Harry Potter books.
Dude, anybody who you like to read, you should definitely read them. They're fantastic. Dude.
Yeah,
there's
like
a whole
the first
world.
What's so good.
I've heard a lot of people, I don't know if it's like a generational thing or what, but like when I was growing up, we read a lot of books and stuff because, obviously there was no technology, there was no internet, there was none of that stuff. So reading was a viable way to spend time.
Right.
These days it seems less so. But I like reading fiction because I think you can get a lot of that same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be a true story to have elements that you can pull from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
I agree with that. I think it's just harder for me to find fiction I like than it is for me to find nonfiction I like.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every non-fictional book that I've read, I'm like, I love this book, And I've probably read Think and Grow Rich like 8 times this year.
Wow.
I fucking love that book.
Well, hopefully you'll grow rich from that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gave this dude a lot of your time to not be rich yet.
Yeah, dude, that book is so good.
Because are you using that to help us?
That's kind of a mindset thing. It's not really like step by step. This is how you make money. It's like this is how you need to think to make money.
I didn't mean to cut you off there. My bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like I was gonna say, the book I've read the most, and the first book I downloaded on that Kindle, was like Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, to me, it's like comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
For my brain.
Yeah, I'll read through all the Harry Potter books like at least once a year usually.
Oh yeah.
Like I've got them all on audiobook now, so I can just put them in while I'm in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Audiobooks are good, but it still isn't quite the same.
Yeah.
As reading it.
Yeah, because your head paints like a whole different story.
Yeah,
your head's voice.
Well, and it does when it's subtle. I think it's subtle, but audiobook is more passive. If you're reading, you've got to pay attention.
Right.
Now you got to pay attention when someone's reading to you because if your mind floats, you'll freaking be like, where are we? And you got to rewind, and that's a hassle. So I do that when I'm driving. You know what I mean? It's like I'm shooting past my exit. And stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so the Kindle I think works good because it's just like this. It's just about this much bigger than the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think my dad it doesn't really. It looks like a page.
It looks
of
like
a book.
Page. Yeah.
It doesn't look like a backlit screen. It looks just like a page, but it's like it's still visible when you go outside.
That's right. It's really cool, man, how it works, and it's like an Etch-a-Sketch inside. It's not a screen like this. So it doesn't use any batteries like when the screen is on or whatever. And the only time it uses batteries is when you turn the page, when it refreshes the page. Yeah. That's when it uses some
Those
battery.
Are pretty cool.
So the battery life's pretty
like
long
a month
too, right?
or something.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I haven't really charged mine.
I didn't expect that.
Mine's at like 50%, and I've used it every day since I got it.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. You know what I mean?
I can't wait till phones are like that. Like, have you guys heard about that thing? It was like a while ago, but they were like, we've made a breakthrough with batteries, and it's like if you do this thing with silicone and gold, you can make it so the battery's not like constantly powering your phone. It just like sends out like pulses, and so we can make the battery last like weeks on your phone as opposed to like 1 day.
That is cool, especially because I don't know with Apple products. Mine it's like every other week the time that it lasts gets worse. It's like exponentially decreasing as time goes on.
They designed them that way.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, they're really trying to get me to change this fucking phone because now it's like.
Yeah, I need to change it to an Android phone.
Yeah, well, it wasn't my choice. It wasn't my choice. The time people give me shit about the Apple phone, I wasn't super like picky, and that was just what came with the contract I got.
Yeah,
so,
I guess I'm not like that picky either. It's not like I'm.
Like if they, you gave me that, I wouldn't be like, this isn't my Apple phone. Throw it out. To me, it's just whatever works. I'm not a big tech guy like that. So.
Did you guys see that thing where the McDonald's revealed that it was like the guy, like some ex-cop, like rigged every single one of those Monopoly things since like 1999, and like has won every major prize.
Are you serious?
That's so good.
How did they not catch on for 19 years though? Like that's a long time to
McDonald's,
win.
they haven't caught on.
year.
There's not even real
Well,
food.
there was like a whole like network of people he would get to go claim the prizes for him.
Yeah.
And like,
That's kind of fucked because
him off.
I got kind of fat last time they did that because I ate so much McDonald's trying to get those.
Every year for like pretty much my entire life. That's the only time I would eat McDonald's.
Like,
is
there
when
was-
the Monopoly game was going
Yeah,
on.
I never ate it usually. And there was the one year where I
This
played
dude.
it really hard trying to win. I got visible stretch marks on like my thighs.
Yeah.
Like not the gross purple ones, but just the little ones, you know?
Yeah.
And I did all that and I still didn't win that shit.
Yeah, dude. Every time they'd be like, "Oh, it's Monopoly game," you know. It's like it was always in the fall, and it was like, and you would just start going back to school or something like that. And there's a McDonald's like on campus, so I would go to class and then walk to McDonald's and eat McDonald's every fucking day. And
I did that with Chick-fil-A while I was in
I
college.
am astonished.
like I stole all my
Yeah,
prizes.
I probably knocked a fucking chunk of years off the end of my life
you
doing that
probably
shit.
would have won if it wasn't for that guy.
I'm thinking about that. I'm like, this dude, this is another reason. Because the ticket was one thing, but these cops are starting to piss me off now that they're rigging McDonald's Monopoly.
Dude, I know, man. Why can't they just stick to shooting minorities?
That's right. Now they're affecting me in my life. It's changed. The whole
We'll just let him off with a promotion.
Rigging the white guy
Yeah.
games too. That's
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah.
this is just as severe, if not worse, than the shootings.
Well, McDonald's got me and my son, because we're big Rick and Morty fans, and y'all remember
yeah, the
whenever that
Szechuan.
was, the stupid sauce day
Yeah.
or whatever. Oh, Ethan got me up, man. We went up there. We drove up to the one like up because it was in Atlanta where we had to go.
Right, there was like one.
It was like Northside
place.
Drive up near Georgia Tech or whatever. We get in there, man, you couldn't even breathe in that place. It was so packed. And you had to buy that one type of chicken strip or whatever.
Right.
So we're in line, we're waiting. There's people in there, and it's like at a certain time is when they were going to give the sauce out or whatever. I didn't understand how it worked at all.
It's like
They
a
didn't
release.
tell anybody.
Release
Yeah,
for the
seriously.
sauce.
Did y'all hear about it though?
No, I didn't. I know
What they,
what
ended
you're
up,
talking
what they ended up doing though?
No, what they do.
Like, so we get there. There's had to been, 75 people in there, 100 people in there. Like it was really packed.
In
for
one
a
little
fairly
McDonald's.
fairly small McDonald's. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a big one, And we're in line waiting in there. We pay our $6.95 a piece to get this certain type of chicken tender, like some kind of new thing. It wasn't a normal chicken nugget. And then we get the food, whatever. I'm like, hey, I want that sauce, and she's like, oh, we're out of that sauce. And I was like, what's everybody waiting around here for? Oh, well, we're not going to give it out. The first 4 people that came got one of those little sauces.
They only had like 4?
They had 4.
Oh my god.
4 packets of that sauce, dude, or those little cups.
You know what though? And you can buy that shit.
And they
from,
weren't
like,
telling
Walmart.
anybody. But what sucks is they weren't like they were.
Right.
And everybody in that room could have just said, "Hey, dudes, there's only these 4 people, the only ones that are gonna get it."
Yeah, and then everybody would have left.
Right.
I'm
surprised
Well,
the
why
first
wouldn't
4
you?
didn't
The
tell
first 4
anybody.
should have been
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, dude.
What's so much for fucking solidarity? I would have been
Well,
out there like, guys, it's a scam. Get out.
Oh, I would have done the same. I'd have been like, dudes, they only got 4. Ask them. They only got 4 packets.
Here,
I
you can.
would've-
I was gonna throw this out, but
I had
know,
a similar
we
experience.
only got 3 tenders.
I had a similar experience at a McDonald's, except it wasn't sauce. It was they'd run out of beef, and there
What?
was huge lines, and no one was telling anybody. And then you got up there and it was like, we only have filet of fish and fries. And you're like, what? A McDonald's without the beef? Are you kidding
That's a
me?
nightmare.
You know what?
We only have filet of fish and fries.
That's the.
It was a living nightmare. No, and it wasn't even that. And like we had tried to go to a restaurant before that, and
But
we
a cop
sat
is
there.
responsible for that too.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
Took all the beef. We were at a
Took all the
restaurant.
beef. It's not even real beef, dude. Cut
Yeah,
up in some
they-
cardboard boxes
Yeah,
and
like-
serve me my food.
He probably was trying to help out some people in prison. He's like, this is better. This is
Yeah.
Oh my
it might be
gosh.
worse than what they serve in prison.
But at least
actually.
it's not made into a loaf.
It might be
somehow.
prisoners.
Yeah, probably.
But we had already tried to go to a nice restaurant, and we sat there for an
Great.
hour and a half, and
Oh, yeah.
like nobody
Yeah,
brought
the
like,
forgotten table.
yeah, right. And then we were like, well, let's go to McDonald's. Like that's quick. We were starving. We were at this convention in Atlanta,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh, yeah.
then we get there, and there's no fucking beef. And then
You keep saying
it was just. It was ridiculous, man. I literally had to drive from Atlanta home to get a meal. I couldn't. There's nowhere in Atlanta to get a meal.
Episode 3. There's no beef.
There's no beef.
There's no.
I want to get beef with another podcast. Like I want to start some shit. Like I
Wanna
want to
start
find
a fight?
a low end podcast like ours. Like 3 watches
We're
a
high
month.
end, bro.
Well, I mean, like 3 watches a month. Someone that's in the same pool as us.
You need to get
be
off
careful
this
because I'm going to be recovering from a hernia. I'm not going to be much help.
No, that's fine.
I'm going to be in the back.
We'll start,
get him. Get him, Miles. I'll talk you up though. I'll be like, dude, hey Miles, remember that time you were in that Krav Maga class and you whooped those 10 dudes' ass? Don't do that maneuver on that guy.
Yeah.
Do that ball grab thing.
Do that shit. Do that. I'm just saying, like,
man.
That's what I'll do. I'll come in.
All good beefs. All good beefs elevate you. There's no bad publicity whatsoever.
But you're from the rap world. I don't know if those rules apply.
They apply to everything.
Here.
Think of any time any like celebrities you know got into some shit with each other, and tell me both of them aren't in a better place than they were.
Look, Trump is the king of Twitter.
I'm telling you, man, he starts shit with everybody, and he runs.
And now he's the president. He wasn't the president when he started doing all that.
No, that's right.
Now he is.
That's the only thing that changed.
So who are we starting?
I'm gonna go to Twitter.
I'm telling you, let's go find some math nerds that also have Tangent in their name, and we'll fuck them up.
Let's get to a beef with the people who are Tangent on Demand UK.
Yeah,
they have the same name, but it's like UK. Like their website is Todd UK.
Dude, we can't have that.
Yeah, and UK dudes are fucking weak as shit.
It's like some print shop, like little print shop in London. Go to war.
Dude. Absolutely. Start the second Revolutionary War, Tangent versus Tangent. We'll fuck them all.
But remember that War of 1812 thing? I ain't forgot.
I ain't forgot. Nothing's been forgot.
They burned Washington down during that war. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I did not
burned the White House.
Didn't they? Wasn't there like
rebuilt?
A hurricane or some shit that like that's what got them out? Like we were
maybe. That's where all I know about the War of 1812 is
they burned down the White House.
They burned down the White House. James Madison was president. He had to haul ass at the last minute. He was like the last guy out before they put a torch to it.
I think he was running out like with one of those old muskets, just firing out the doors.
What year was that war fought?
1812. It's in the name. Were you joking?
Yes,
I was
okay. But it didn't end.
Okay.
But it did. The funny part, it didn't end until like 1814. Though it wasn't because back then it took them a long time to gear up for a war.
Yeah.
Hey, we're coming to get you. We'll be there in like 3 months.
And there was no like fighting like these secret battles. It was like, all right, let's line up and let's just point at each other.
Put on a red coat and line up so I can see you.
That's what was
a
crazy.
Big white cross on the front so I have something to aim at.
Imagine
you couldn't hit anything
so
anyway.
fucking...
You shoot and a bullet would go.
Yeah.
you just hope that something would happen.
You see, shooting those old guns, you turn your head before it goes off, or else you end up with a face full of freaking powder and stuff. You know what I mean? So they would shoot like.
Luckily, they had like thousands of people in a line, so maybe they would hit somebody.
Yeah,
that's weird to me that people just agreed to that. Like, I don't care who we're fighting. Like, if someone's like, "Hey, there's a wall."
Yeah, there was no such thing as flanking. It was like, let's line up and just go at it.
That's like, what's the point of that?
But you got to remember too, though, back then, everybody in the country wasn't in the army. Yeah. It was a small professional army, right? The first time in history that everybody in the whole country had to go to war was basically. The Civil War was kind of like that, but World War I was the first time when they just said farmers, teachers, builders, everybody, we're going to raise our 2 million man army and then feed it into a chipper shredder. That's pretty much what happened. Like it wiped out the whole generation of Europeans.
Yeah. I mean, at least in that one, though, they had holes in the ground to hide in. This one, like, dudes were just standing in walls, and they were like, I hope that's not the bullet that hits me.
And the Civil War is when they started building trenches for the first time. Because at the end of the Civil War was trench warfare. Like,
really?
The beginning of it, they were marching around in rows, shooting each other like fucking Napoleon or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then by the end of it, there were some battles in Virginia where Grant's troops dug in and the Southerners dug in. They were digging trenches because they were just getting shot to pieces. Yeah. And eventually they were like, where are we going to... Screw this, I'm digging a hole. And literally that's what they did,
I mean, it's smart.
World War I was all about, of course.
It's like instant cover. There's no way,
Right. You dig into the ground. By the end of World War I, you had a bunch of things you didn't have at the beginning. You had airplanes, you had tanks, you had machine guns were out, but they were part of the reason why World War I was so terrible was machine guns. You know what I mean? Like talk about mowing people down.
Well, also dudes were just getting sick in those anything. Yeah,
it's the worst, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, and think about and back then you didn't do a year tour like go to Vietnam for a year and come home and you're done. Right? There you went to the front. Until the war was over or you died. Yeah. So you're there for years. Yeah. It took them a long time to figure out they had to rotate people out because people were going crazy. Shell shock, right? Yeah. Battle fatigue or whatever they call it now. Post-traumatic stress disorder.
If you were just up there for
hearing those shells. Because you hear a shell on, you can't tell if it's going to land in your hole or the guy half a mile away.
Yeah.
Everyone that's coming sounds like it's going to land right on top of you.
That's like a
And
mental.
so that drives you. It drives people insane, and it wouldn't matter. And they used to shoot people for deserting and stuff. People that would freak out and just run, but it wasn't because they were cowards. It's because they literally lost their mind for a short period of time.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I'm like I don't know. I'm not a historian or anything like that, but I like history. And World War One is one of those fascinating times. It's just like, thank God I wasn't in that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like every day you wake up and go, thank God I wasn't born in 1900. I didn't wind up in World War One.
Right.
And if they caught you trying to dodge the draft or anything like that back then, they'd fuck you up bad. Yeah, like even that was the thing with the Civil War is that if you weren't fighting in their war and you tried to hide, they would fucking dip your ass in tar.
Yeah,
they would.
Yeah, then it's even worse fate for you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
There was like
you
nothing
deserted or something like that, then you wind up in some kind of
shit was gross
prison or whatever.
Yeah, I like living now.
Yeah, now's a good time.
Now is good with me. I'm fine with now.
Now's great.
What's crazy is in 500 years, I'm gonna look back now and go, those knuckle draggers.
Yeah,
How did they
Can
ever
you
survive?
believe their kitchen smelled like that?
How did they ever survive? I heard people used to get hernias back then.
Yeah.
They didn't have the hernia pill.
Yeah, just pop it, everything.
The
Things
second we
melts.
got pills for everything. Like,
People ever have pills for anything?
I don't know, because you think I'm
So much
sure
more profitable to
nobody.
keep
Yeah.
people sick.
Well, that's true. Nowadays you can never like all the shit that happens behind the scenes.
Like, when was the
there's
last
no
time
way to
we made a cure for something?
Polio.
It was?
Chris Rock said.
know.
that.
Really?
Polio. Yeah, he said we haven't cured anything since polio.
It's probably true.
I mean, I'm sure
So
there's
when's
like
the last
little
time
things.
you heard somebody
you know?
saying my smallpox is acting up or whatever?
Yeah.
That was before polio, but yeah, AIDS they didn't cure it, but they can keep you alive forever.
You just
just
you
as
just
long as
taking
you
the
gotta
medicine.
keep paying.
The
You'll
money's
live a
in the
shitty
medicine.
existence for.
The money's in the medicine.
Yeah.
There was that episode of South Park where Magic Johnson cured his AIDS by just liquefying money and shooting it up into the system.
I mean, dude, there's nothing we can say that hasn't been covered in either South Park, The Simpsons, or Family Guy.
True.
Probably ad nauseum.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but that's you know what the crazy thing is about people is they just want to hear other people talk.
That's
They
right.
don't care if they've heard it before.
That's right.
It's wild. Like,
Yeah.
What a fresh take on this subject.
right. There's no such
Not
thing as
really.
a fresh take.
Not really. Yeah. There's
That's
nothing
true.
new.
But it's
Nothing new
crazy.
under the sun.
Every TV show or anything you ever see is just people talking. That's essentially what it is, and nobody can get enough of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's great.
Well, that's what our brains are tuned to. You ever notice like why do we hear the register we hear? Why does the piano and the guitar like the two most popular musical instruments or the most common? Because they're the ones that sound the most like the human voice, and our ears are tuned to hear the human voice. That's the most important thing for our survival because we're such a social species or whatever.
That's true.
And and the same thing with your eyes. You ever notice when you look at stuff, you tend to find faces.
Mm-hmm. Find faces and you find exits.
Yeah, it's because your brain's tuned to look for that stuff.
That's cool. I wonder because I know like I'm sure other musicians have done this before. The only one I've heard of is like Bjork. Probably nobody listens to Bjork, or none of nobody that's gonna ever listen to this. But yeah, she's got like a whole album where every instrument almost. Yeah, she's a woman.
No.
I don't know if it's shit.
Bjork. I don't
Like
know.
with
It sounds like
with the Buddy Holly
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like BJO
When you said
with
Bjork,
the two dots over
I
it.
thought you
isn't
were
she,
talking
like,
about a
from
classical
Iceland or somewhere.
She's from Europe. She looks in all the pictures. She looks Japanese, kind of. Not Japanese, maybe Asian.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound stupid, but I already do. Fuck it. We'll edit it.
No, we're
Doesn't
gonna.
matter. This
no,
is just real,
I
it's
know.
really talking.
I know,
I didn't
yeah.
do any research on Bjork before I started.
No,
So
but
where
she
she's
has-
from. I want to say Iceland though for some reason.
No, it's. I mean, you can hear it when she sings. She has an accent. You can look it up. Yeah.
We'll be that guy.
Yeah, but she has a whole album where she, as many instruments as possible, she replaces them with human voices. So she has all these different choirs from different places. It sounds crazy. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite album of all time or even of hers, but it's
Icelandic.
Yes.
oh god damn man, nice. That was nice. I fucking listened to her and I wouldn't have guessed that shit.
It's on the HQ quiz tonight.
It probably will be. Fuck. Nah, but it's cool. It's a weird, like, it's just as for what it is, it's fun to listen to because of, like, you can say that instrument got replaced with that voice and all that, and she has all these choirs doing the shit. Part of the reason I'm not super into it is that her own voice kind of gets drowned out in it a little. Some of the songs are really, really cool. And I think the idea is cool enough to where I'll listen to it every once in a while just to be like, shit, they really did that. But I wonder if that, like, if more people, not every instrument, but if more like pop artists tried doing that, they could make a hit song better, just because it would connect with people more. Like, like they might not even know it's an instrument,
right?
But they might. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't have a pop star to use, but
should we just like for the intro to the podcast? Should we just sing like acapella, like an acapella intro?
Yeah, of course.
We can come up with a little ditty and do it acapella or whatever.
I was thinking of making a little intro thing to play before it starts, and have that graphic that I made earlier for the other videos. So I might do that.
The only song I can play on the guitar is the Adventure Time theme song.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Adventure Time.
That's a good song, though.
Yeah, do that.
And so we need to do that. We'll just change the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then have everyone sing a cappella for the TOD.
If it's funny,
TODcast.
you're allowed to do it because of parody law. You can
right.
rip people's songs off.
Thank you, Weird Al.
Yeah, Weird Al. You're my hero.
He probably did do a lot for dudes trying to do shit on YouTube just for his whole career.
Like, he was basically why like the parody law came into existence. It was like he was just taking people's songs and putting his funny lyrics over it, and it was like, okay, you're allowed to do this as long as people know it's because of comedy. Like, you can't just take someone's song and put like your own lyrics over it and try to be a serious musician. It has to be comedic.
Right. Well, and of course, it turns out that he's making them more, like you said, there's no bad beef, there's no bad publicity, so you're making them more popular.
Yeah,
because
really.
he was like, you're nobody until Weird Al parodies you.
Yeah, that's true.
Who was he parodying? He was parodying all the biggest acts, Madonna and Michael Jackson and all that, and or like the most famous songs. Like the first one he ever did, I think it was like on that Dr. Demento show, was My Bologna instead of my Sharona. He was like my Bologna.
Yeah, but then that song blew up after that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it became
was
more
already
popular.
a hit, but it
became more people were like, oh, let's listen to that song again.
The people who really benefit from that are the ones who take it and run with it. Like, I went to a Papa Roach show like last year, and he did one of their songs where it was like, cut my pie into pieces. This is my plastic fork. And so they had a T-shirt with those lyrics on it.
Is that what Papa Roach is? That song is him?
Yeah.
You guys keep talking. I don't listen to that kind of music a whole lot. So whenever you guys say his name, because you guys talk about
him anymore. They were playing with a band I really like.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, every time you talk about him, I think of like some crazy shit I've never heard of, but I've heard that song.
Papa Roach is not a person; it's a band.
Papa Roach is a band.
See, and that's another thing too. Is whenever you guys say Papa Roach, I think of a dude with like a big hat in front of the audience.
He's just some dude in a big roach costume.
Yeah.
His arms are all tied, so he goes like this, and all of his
I'm serious. Like, if you knew what was going on in my head when you guys talked, you'd think I was fucking stupid.
You should illustrate it.
I'll draw it for you. Yeah.
Okay.
I know, he's like, I like Papa Roach. He's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I've never heard of.
You should
that
see
band
Mama
or even-
Roach.
Oh shit.
It's just some giant roach making dad jokes.
He's got a set of titties for every arm.
Yeah, exactly. Check out Mama
That's
Roach. I like to
disgusting.
lay
That is
some,
kind of gross.
like to throw my dusty semen on her egg pouch or whatever it is they do.
God.
Whatever they do. I'm no mathematician, but I don't think that's.
I think they put eggs on the ground and then the men like crawl over it or whatever. And it, like,
I hate roaches.
fertilizes
I
it.
absolutely hate roaches.
That's why, once again, that's why that Rick and Morty is the best. When they've seen that one Pickle Rick.
Oh yes, that's a great episode. I mean, that's
man,
gross,
one of
but
the
it's
best-
awesome.
It's one of the best episodes of all times.
Bro, you know that HQ game we were playing last time you were here?
Mhm.
The trivia? I won.
Get out of here.
I
How much
won
did you win? Like
$1.65.
$1.65. Must have been an easy week or an easy day.
No, actually, that's
Yeah, usually when I see it, it's like
usually
60 cents.
30 or 40
Yeah.
cents.
Oh, wow.
There was one game they had where they just went until there was one person left, and they won $25,000. They got to like 23 questions, I think.
Wow.
And they start out with 1 million people.
So one guy just had the fastest internet on the planet. Is that it? Because it goes pretty fast, but I'm thinking.
Yeah, they might be
maybe.
able to get it in there. I don't know. And people in the chat were like calling him out by name. I was like, how do you know this guy's playing? Like, is he like live streaming or something? They were like, King of Pugs is gonna win. That was the guy's name.
Pugs. That's great. Oh my gosh, King of Pugs.
King of Pugs.
Is that great? It's like being the king of inbreds. Those poor guys are so fucked.
Pugs are
They'll never.
fucked.
Yeah, that's why they look
Yeah.
like that. They're just.
A lot of dogs have
All the
problems.
flat-faced
Yeah.
dogs have problems. Yeah, we have a couple Boston Terriers.
They
that are
can't
like
breathe.
that.
Imagine if that's what your life was. You were just in pain all the time. Everyone's like, "Oh," pointing at you, making cute noises and shit. And you're just like,
I can't
God,
breathe, help me.
God, please.
My eyes are practically falling out of my head.
That's right.
It's so.
Yeah.
Like that's a fucking.
Do you think
Twilight
they were
Zone
bred to look like
horror
that, or they
segment.
just always look like horrified? Their eyes are always wide open because they're about to die.
If there was ever an episode of the Twilight Zone, it should be where it's this poor guy who's always, his life is agony and everyone's fucking laughing and pointing, and then it points to his
That would be a
perspective
good
and he's
Twilight
a
Zone
dog.
episode.
That would be.
They probably did that.
Maybe they did. I never really watched it because it's old. Like, it's old as fuck.
People telling stories about him pissing in his own bed.
Yeah.
Have you seen all those dog shaming posts where they'll just like put like a sign around the dog's neck? It's like, I pissed in my owner's face or something like that, and the owner's just like.
No, look, what was it? I saw one of the comedians one time was doing the whole thing with his dog, like yelling at him. He's like, "Oh, why don't you go get some?" Oh, well, I know what it was. It was Anchorman.
Oh,
Anchorman.
yes. Yeah.
And he's like shaming his dog or whatever.
Yeah. And
Couldn't remember
he's
the guy's
talking
name.
to him, and the dog just barks back, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you spoke Spanish."
But then later he like freaking kicks him over the bridge.
Yeah, Jack Black punks him off the bridge.
That's so good. That is so good, man.
Dude, did you hear about that guy that got arrested? I can't remember where it was. I think it was England for making his dog.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He made his dog a Nazi, but he was just like proving to his he was trying to prove to his girlfriend. It was like supposed to be a joke where it was like. She was like, "Look, the dog gets excited when I say this," and he's like, "You can literally make the dog excited saying anything." And so he got the dog to get excited when he was like, "You want to, exterminate the Jews?" And the dog would get really excited.
Yeah, because then you give him a treat. Or
Right. And then I guess he posted a video of it, and he got arrested for
that's
making the dog hateful or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I was gonna say, I know, only the reason I know what you're talking about is because people were making such a big deal about it for such a long time. But it is a funny story.
Do you think it was right for him to be in prison? I don't think so.
I mean, most.
I think it was all in the
that's
spirit of a joke,
yeah.
but he took it maybe the wrong way. Like, he could have done it a different way, and it would have been funnier.
To me, it's like that's why laws are such a weird thing, is because when you say something in a law, then you mean it in the law. But a person should be able to say like, "Oh, clearly that's a joke.
Right.
Clearly that's not."
If he had just said like something about Hitler and the dog got excited, but he said like really specific.
Yeah, he was saying some phrases like from Mein Kampf.
Yeah,
maybe not that. I don't know, but he was this shit like "gas the Jews" is probably a little too far. Maybe we shouldn't say that phrase during our thing. I don't want to get flagged or whatever.
You're saying gas the Jews?
Yeah. How many times do you say "gas the Jews" in a podcast before something goes on? Before a government agent kicks the door down.
We're talking about this thing.
We're talking
You
about
said it. Now I said
Yeah,
it.
no.
Someone is.
He said, "Why are you guys stunning that guy to death?" He said Jehovah. No, you said Jehovah. Oh, no, you made me say Jehovah. Oh, no, we've all said Jehovah.
Someone at Todd UK is sweating away in their basement putting together sound bites of us saying "gas the Jews" to just take us down in the upcoming beef.
Yeah,
he's down
the
there
upcoming
beef.
beef.
He's down there right now with his little gently rotting English teeth, working away on his little thing. That's what I'll show him. I'll make him all.
I'm gonna make him pay.
That's right, bastards, stealing my podcast ideas.
We're gonna find out he hit a woman, and he's gonna be like, "Well, really, they want to gas the Jews." Fuck! I said it again.
you can't say.
Stop,
but you're Jewish, though, right?
Yeah.
So we know a Jew, so we can say that, right?
No, that's not how it works.
This is not.
No.
See, I saw Schindler's List. Whatever.
Yeah. That's how TV makes it.
It gives
work,
me
but I
no
don't think
rights.
It's cool like that.
Well, yeah, I was making.
And then usually if it's about respecting people, if you go find the one person that's willing to sell out just so you can call everyone else a slur, then it's probably not cool still.
That's true.
It's very true.
Can
there's these few things that everybody knows you don't touch, right?
Yeah.
Papa John found out you don't say the N-word.
Yeah, you don't touch that one.
You just don't say it. I mean, how hard is it to not say? I never
really-
accidentally say it anywhere, anytime in my entire life.
Yeah,
so
he really wanted to say it like that.
Yeah.
For him to let it slip like that.
He's a knucklehead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now he gets to take a big vacation. Whoop-de-doo.
He's so rich, it doesn't matter. You hear he's suing Papa John's though?
How is that?
He's Papa John is
Papa
suing
John is suing
Papa
Papa
John's.
John's. Yeah.
That's all ridiculous, man. That's all publicity stuff.
He should have let that one go. He should have just went down.
Do you think Papa John's business has gone down or up since this?
We've gotten busier, I can tell, whenever I work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good enough indication to say that they're slower.
Well, I know the NFL thing hit him hard.
The NFL thing, I think the NFL thing hurt him.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I think
Papa
the
John saying something.
continuing to sponsor the NFL hurt them a little bit, and when he decided to talk about it and blame the dudes
Yeah.
kneeling, that hurt him bad.
You should never have one guy as the focus of your company.
Yeah, because that,
That's
especially
a
when it's an
lesson
older guy like that who starts to not care as much.
Yeah.
Especially a guy whose like whole thing was he bought his first Camaro and redid it or whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like this guy's not the most savvy, guy.
He's not as
just a
connected with the
guy,
people as
you know?
maybe some of.
He's just a
somebody
hardworking
else.
guy that kind of he got the American dream. He worked his tail off, and then things kind of went his way, and then he ended up a freaking multimillionaire, and he's
He
just
went
an
mad
idiot.
with power.
though.
Right, yeah,
He's still
he's
just a random
still-
idiot.
Yeah.
Said so many black people have eaten my pizza. I
That's
get the pass,
America.
and he went
Any
for it.
idiot can be a millionaire.
I put a
If
bunch
he's
of
willing to
black
work
people
hard
who
enough.
worked for me and all this stuff.
Yeah, no, that's
just-
not. It's still not
look,
okay.
Look, the rule is this: just don't say the word.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
not that
pretty.
hard.
It's pretty clear.
It's an easy rule to not break. I don't.
Yeah.
It's, I've explained that. I've had 3 or 4 friends that I've had to sort of explain. Like, look, why you so? Who cares? Number one,
Right.
I don't care who runs that company.
Yeah, was anybody really buying pizza because Papa John ran
I've
Papa
never-
John?
No, of course
I've
not.
never thought
Of
about
course
him
not. But
at
you know,
all.
the other thing at play here too is that in America, the only thing we love better than a rags to riches story is a rags to riches to rags story.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
Love
People
we love to build
love-
them up, and we love to tear them down.
Yeah, that's
man.
cool.
I'm
People
sure if the
love that.
Colonel was still kicking, we would have got him.
I got-
Except that even when you tear him down, I mean, he's still gonna be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Just because he's not
Yeah.
part of Papa John's anymore.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like we tear them down, we feel like now everybody can kind of give
Like, oh, he's
themselves
on
a
our
collective.
level.
We can all give each other a collective slap on the back. Yeah, we taught him you can't say the N word, but what did you teach him? Nothing.
Yeah.
He's still the
I
same.
don't know. He
idiot
sued
was
Papa
before.
John's. He must be mad about some shit.
Well, he just wants more money,
That's true.
and he
Yeah,
wants to
that's
stay in the
all it
public
is.
eye. If he didn't sue him, they would just take his face off of everything, and you would forget about it.
If tomorrow,
but if he
tomorrow in the
does sue
news-
him, then he's out there.
He's
still.
still in the news. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, if tomorrow in the news you saw that Papa John's hung himself, would you feel bad?
No.
I don't think I would either. I don't know the guy. Like, I'd probably feel bad for his kids if he's got any. But they didn't say the N word, so they can have my sympathy. That's the only thing. That was all that changed.
Let me ask you guys a hypothetical question
Yeah,
I've been
let's
wanting
hear
to
it.
ask
Let's hear it.
for a minute. Do you guys know what life straws are?
Life straws.
Yeah,
Oh, I
they're
know.
like
Yeah.
they're like these straws they give out to people in third world countries that filter out like bacteria and stuff so they can drink out of rivers and things like
Oh
that.
yeah,
Make it
so
safe
it's
to drink.
just like a water filter that's just a straw. that you
Yeah,
can-
and they're supposed to last like for a long time and like
Yeah, you can-
really be helpful.
You can campers and stuff here use them. I think you can buy them sometimes, like even like Walmart. or
Yeah, I
something
think they're
like
like
One of the
$35,
things-
and then they overprice them like that, so they give them away in third world countries.
that.
But so my question is, if someone gave you $1 million, would you drink just straight diarrhea through a life straw?
Through a life straw.
Yes,
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
$4 million?
$4 million.
How much? I mean, like a gallon
Like,
or
I'm
like
just-
a cupful? Or
I was
what?
thinking like just like a mouthful.
Yeah, I
I
would.
would do it. I would
My
absolutely do
thing
it.
my
Yeah,
thing
yeah, yeah.
generally for $1 million is that as long as it's not going to permanently damage me, and as
Which
long as I can
that
physically
might.
do it without vomiting,
It takes
or
out
anything like that.
bacteria. It doesn't take out the taste. It'll take out like I mean, I don't want to get
I'm
too
just
specific.
saying, like, my rule is that I can.
Chunks? What about the chunks? That's what I'm worried about. Is there corn?
there's no chance.
I mean, it's a crate. You're probably fine.
Is
I
there
don't think
corn
any
in there? I
corn can do that.
don't want to chew the corn.
It's a healthy person's diarrhea.
Yeah.
Not your
It's
own,
that doesn't.
but it's somebody else's.
Yeah.
That's like that's a oxymoron. The healthy person's diarrhea. That's like
Can you be healthy and have diarrhea?
that's like jumbo shrimp. that's like military intelligence. You know, that's an oxymoron.
It's true.
Yeah, I would. I,
I
think
would do
there's
it.
very few things I would do. The only thing my
Would
my
you
like
just drink
limit-
straight diarrhea through
Yeah.
a regular straw for $1 million?
Yeah, I think because again,
Wow.
it's
You
like
might- you
I can
might
get
die,
past
though.
that. I can get past. You might die.
You might die. You could die.
Is there a guarantee that the diarrhea won't
You're
kill me?
still no.
I think it
There's
killed
no
those
guarantee.
people. I think
Okay.
in Human Centipede, those people died.
There's no guarantee. You still
Did
live
they,
in America.
they
and
accepted
you're
that
in
for money?
America.
That's why I thought they got kidnapped or some
They
shit.
got kidnapped, but
Okay.
they still had to eat other people's diarrhea.
Oh, I
So
see what you
I
mean.
think they
Okay.
died.
So you have
Yeah.
a choice, but you could possibly die. You're still living in America with our advances in
Oh
medicine.
no, it's not.
I would do it through a life straw, but I wouldn't
for
do
a
it.
life straw.
See, I'd have to get more specific. Like, is this before taxes? I want to know. Is this take home?
Yeah, it's $1 million.
Is
$1 million
nothing
tax-free.
Yeah,
Tax free? Well, I mean, not even
case.
tax free. Just say I would prefer to say you need to pay like 1.8 million so that I get $1 million after taxes. All the bullshit is said and done.
Okay.
And I got $1 million in
That's
my
smart.
bank account after all that other bullshit.
That's the deal.
If that's the deal, then we can move forward with the next step, which would be, can I pick whose diarrhea it is?
You can't pick.
Jennifer
You can
Aniston's
see it
diarrhea is a lot
beforehand.
more appealing.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? You would be
And David Schwimmer's.
Quite.
Yeah.
David Schwimmer.
If you drink David
Why
Schwimmer's, you
him?
have to listen to his beta voice while you drink it.
I would absolutely not do that then.
No,
No.
for $1 million.
I'm gonna listen to his voice, dude. Every time
But
Friends
they
is
show
on-
you pictures of David Schwimmer eating like Red Robins the day before. Like, and I'm talking about a feast. Like, he was going in at Red
Does that
Robins.
make it better?
No, it's supposed to be worse. Unless you
Okay.
really like Red. I don't know. I don't like Red Robins.
If you saw,
He's eating at Golden Corral with Jeff Foxworthy in the booth with him.
I'll tell you what, I don't think it'd be very easy to just say you're going to do it and like keep it down. You know what I mean? Like, if you had
Yeah.
to swallow and all that stuff, it would be hard to do.
I
If
think
you
a
swallow it-
mouthful would be
Yeah.
doable.
If you
but
swallow
if you're
it-
like a whole,
Any more
an
than that.
8-ounce cup,
Any more than that, I don't think even if there was $1 million, I don't think you could do it just from
just
pure,
Yeah, just
biological.
pure biological. It's all in your mind.
If
Right.
if the mouthful
Well, I'm
stays in
sure
your
it still
stomach
tastes
for
like shit.
half a
Yeah,
second,
but-
you're fine.
Even that's still in your mind, though. You
Yeah.
know, like I knew, when I was in the military, a lot of people chewed tobacco,
Mhm.
and there was a guy. There's always a guy who will.
There's
be
always a guy.
There's always a guy that'll do anything, and it's like you fill up a water bottle with your dip spit, and who's gonna drink it? You know what I mean? It's
Right.
this one guy drank. I'm getting blood right now.
That is pretty
It's been
gross,
20
yeah.
years ago when that even happened, and he was just like turning. It was like cigarette butts in there. People, ugh.
Did you guys have a problem watching Fear Factor when that was on TV and the people would eat the gross stuff?
My parents love to fucking tell the story. Every time I've ever had a friend over, every time I've ever had a girl over, like the one whole time.
Even girls, wow.
Anybody, if no one's heard the story, they love to tell it. But when I was little, my mom used to love Fear Factor, and everybody in the living room was watching it. And there was this one episode, I'm sure they did this a lot, but there was like these sticks with these big beetles on them. They were like from the ground to the roof, and that's, I guess, for some reason, beetles like to be on them. And these dudes had to start just eating beetles off the stick, like.
Mhm.
And I've never seen Fear Factor before. I've never watched it after. I don't know if this is common. But
It's
I
pretty
guess
regular.
as a kid, I looked at it and I just put my hands in my mouth and I ran to the hallway and I threw up into my hand. I didn't make it to the bathroom. I was going for the bathroom. That's what I was
Yeah.
running for. But I threw up in my hands, just all over the floor. My dad had to
Aw,
clean it up.
Poor little Miles.
They love that story so much, and I fucking hate. I'm not a gross out, grotesque kind of guy, and I hate that. Like, I watched one episode, 10 seconds of one episode, and I vomited immediately.
That was always the worst challenge in Fear Factor. There was physical challenges, whatever. It's trying to psych you out.
Yeah.
I'd rather go skydiving than eat a cockroach.
Easily, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I hate heights. So
Oh, me too.
skydiving would be one thing, but doing some kind of challenge where you had to walk across something high or
Right.
whatever, I ain't doing it. It ain't gonna happen. I'll just die. I'll just fall to my death. There's no doubt in my mind I would just go
Those
die.
those shows are for a type of people. There's only so many
I
people
liked
that
watching
can go.
those shows.
I'm talking about just participating.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Dude, I went to when you go to Universal Studios, they have a Fear Factor Live, and they'll get people
Never.
from the crowd and then make them sign the stuff or whatever,
Never.
and they have to, eat the stuff and do the weird physical challenges.
I guess I just have a weak stomach. This shit.
I watched some girl
Yeah.
get ground up squid, and then this other girl, they put this cage on her head and they put one of the bunch of those giant scorpions in the cage, and things like that. It was crazy.
Are they okay? So with stuff like that, are they trained to not sting you?
I don't think they're trained to not sting you. No.
So this girl could get stung in the face.
Yeah, but they're not to kill you. And she signed a
Oh.
waiver.
Probably ruin your vacation.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Why would you offer to do that? No.
Some people love doing that stuff.
I-
There's always those people that are like, I
Yeah.
want to do something crazy.
Usually they're like, "Hey y'all, watch this.
Right. I've said that before and ended up with a couple broken bones.
Yeah.
Hold my beer."
Well, I don't mind.
Did you know
yeah.
I cannot die?
That's true. I can't die.
I'm bulletproof.
Justin sent that to me. He was like, if you ever, or no, you tweeted it, I think.
I tweeted, I was like, if you're ever at a party and someone's been drinking all day and they turn to you and say, did you know I can't die? They're probably about to die.
Yeah, and I knew you were at your parents' anniversary party.
Yeah, I was at my parents' anniversary party.
I saw
and he
this.
was like, who's turned up at an anniversary party like that? And it was me. I was talking about myself.
Oh, did you say that phrase?
I did. I had been drinking so much too.
There was. Would you? Okay, if I'd gone, would I have been able to drink, or would the people there?
Dude, I was sitting there and I was like, I wish Miles was here because I was literally drinking coconut rum out of the bottle. Like I was just like,
oh, dude.
I had work. If someone ahead of time had been like, hey, there's gonna be a party, get it off, I would have got it off.
They made this punch that was just like it was like a ton of pineapple juice and Sprite and a whole thing of that powdered Minute Maid lemonade, and then basically a whole liter of coconut rum. And it was just like this huge punch bowl. It was really good.
I would have went to that. Nobody warned me ahead of time. Even Jason, he was like, hey, do you want to go to this party like the day before? And I was like, dude, what's wrong with you? I have a job. Like, nobody ever is like, a day ahead of time could just do some shit.
Well, I
That's
brought
crazy.
you that fried chicken from the party, though.
Yeah, you did. You know what? I put that through our treadmill oven, and it was great. Our treadmill oven makes everything great. I don't know what it is.
They bought like a 50-piece fried chicken or whatever, and there was a decent amount left over. My mom was like, would you eat this? And I was like, probably not. And then she's like, would Miles eat this? And I was like, yeah, he probably would.
Absolutely.
And
free
so
food?
she boxed it up, and I texted him. I was like, hey, man, can you make me a pizza? I'll bring you some fried chicken.
Yeah.
And then I get there, it's just this huge box of fried chicken.
Yeah, I was the fucking star at work. I was making everybody. I was like, hey, Jimmy, you want some chicken? And he got,
You want to talk about your birds?
Oh, yeah, I got some birds. Like, so we
got birds that hang out outside our door.
Oh.
Like every day.
And there's a thing of oatmeal in there, and I've been feeding them.
You've been feeding them oatmeal?
Yeah, no one eats the fucking oatmeal. I don't know who bought it. I don't know who bought the oatmeal, but I don't eat it. I know you
those
don't.
birds if you get them fat enough.
Yeah.
I've heard of grain-fed cows, oatmeal-fed birds.
I don't know. I was looking at
them
her.
up on
I didn't have any money to buy like a bird feed or anything, and I was like, these guys are
Would
cool.
he eat fried chicken? I bet he would. He likes to eat birds.
Yeah. Well,
Birds eat birds.
so
cows eat chickens.
Do cows eat chickens?
Yeah. Have you ever seen videos where cows would be roaming in a field and a chicken would walk by and they'll just be like,
what did we do to these fucking cows to make them like that? Like, they didn't start out like that, did they? We had to fuck them up for them to just be eating free-range chickens like that.
I don't know, man. Do you think just like anything that eats vegetables just wasn't fast enough to catch meat?
I don't know, but there's like dead, like, vultures will
so?
eat dead shit. They don't have to chase a corpse.
They're built to do that.
Well, I'm saying a cow could just walk up to a dead chicken and eat it if it really wanted it, but to assault a chicken like that, we had to fuck them up bad. Like, they've had to see a couple of their babies get ground up in
Maybe
the
it's just like, I
McDonald's.
guess I'll try this today.
Yeah,
Just so bored.
I don't know, but we found these fucking birds outside our house. I don't know if anyone saw them before me, but as soon as I saw them, I loved them because they were so calm around
birds
us.
For some reason.
I think birds are kind of cool. I don't know. I'm not like I'm gonna go buy an
birds.
exotic bird and keep it as a pet. Like from.
That's what I thought you were talking about. I was like,
No, I didn't. I'm not that
What's
far.
up about your birds?
They came to me. I didn't go to them. I'm not that weird. I keep
They
seeing
don't
them.
move.
They don't move.
When you come up to them, they let you just like pet them.
I pet these birds every once in a while. The first time I pet them, I was like, oh shit, I wish I had my phone, but I didn't want to
should
go get
touch
it.
birds probably.
probably not.
They have bird mites and all that.
I was about to say, when I was a kid, they were always like, don't, I'm like, look at this dead bird. And I'm like, get tackled by
they're
every
not
adult.
corpses. I'm not gross. They're not corpses.
There's fucking mites on those birds.
Birds are gross.
Well, I just gave them a little like index finger duck in the head,
Yeah.
Little pet, and
Did
they
you wash
freak
your
out.
finger after that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I'm not stupid. I'll pet the bird. Yeah.
Just
I wanted to taste it.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, they're cool, man, and they just hang out. And they're not freaked out by people. I can get close to them. I don't know what happened to these birds. They don't give a fuck at all. Like, they've probably seen some shit. Like,
I think they just live in that bush or like a tree around the corner or something.
they're cool. They've survived. To me, that says that they've got some character.
Can they
they've
fly?
survived some shit. Yeah, they're gone.
I've never seen them fly though.
I've never seen them take off, but they're gone. So
But
either they
they-
grow
I've
up, they
seen
walk
birds
around.
that are sort of in between the baby bird stage
They're
and
pretty
the
big,
adult
though.
bird stage.
They're pretty big birds.
They look like a normal
Sometimes
sized
they're like-
pigeon.
They're big boys.
There's some big boys, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I liked them. Everyone, I gave them names, and people think they're hilarious because I gave them stupid names.
What are the names?
Smoke Perp, the Slump God, and
Yeah.
then Christ the Conqueror.
Those are
And
the
that's
birds.
they eat oatmeal and they'll let you pet them, and they're cool birds. And I need to get some next time. I haven't seen them today, but next time I see them, I want to get some pictures with them, like just
Some selfies.
Throw up
Yeah,
some
these are
poses.
Miles and his birds.
Yeah, we'll put them on the company Facebook, I guess.
We were
Be
talking
like-
about something like so one of my friends
Just
wants
flip
me.
the bird. When you
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'll get
Give it
Birds
a
with the
bird.
birds.
Yeah.
Birds be like,
One of my friends wants to set me up with one of his friends. You know? And I can't remember how we got on this, but we were like, oh, do you think? Or I was like, I don't like getting set up.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think it's like, it doesn't sound like a good time to me.
No.
And I think someone was like, do you think Miles would like get set up with a girl or something like that? And I was like, no, he's got his birds. He's fine with his birds. Just Miles and his birds.
Did you say that? Did you cut off my opportunity just to joke about my birds?
Well, no one was actually gonna set you up.
Wow.
It was hypothetical.
That's fine. I'm a nice looking guy.
Like,
I'll survive.
I'm not saying they don't want to. I'm just saying.
If Miles was straight,
yeah,
and I knew
because that's a big factor. I've done some soul searching. I've decided girls are gross. In this 20th year of my life, I've decided I've been wasting the last fucking 12 of them.
It's not that girls aren't gross; it's just that dudes are grosser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how anyone can look at a dude and be like,
man,
I'll write a book about it for you. I'll explain it.
You're the one to know.
All right.
That's the reason why, and I keep coming back to this all the time because to me it's a no-brainer. But I know some dudes that are like, manage gay people, blah blah blah, to get all bent out of shape about it, and I'm like, that just people are born that way or whatever, and they're like,
it's like getting mad about brown eyes.
Man, it's a choice, they made this choice, and I'm like, really? Well, when did you make the choice? If they made the choice, that means that we all made the choice. Right. And when did you go cock or pussy? I never made that choice, man.
No, there wasn't a conscious decision.
It wasn't a conscious decision. No. It's just what I've been programmed to like. So, pretty sure it works that way with them as well.
Yeah.
No, right before you're born, it's like a game. You get a character select screen, you push some buttons on the touch screen.
I don't think so. I don't think I would have chosen to make myself look this way.
I think I would have chose a lot better. Or it might be one of those rigged games like the little crane thing that pulls out the stuffed animal. And I was going for the pink elephant, which was the baddest one in there, and it came out with this little canary or whatever.
Yeah. No, God,
Miles would love the canary. He loves birds.
Birds are cool, man. I'm telling you, like when we were at the beach, seagulls, they got those little like the black head and then the white body, and they hang out in like these gangs and they throw up little signs and shit.
We just want to be in a gang. It's all.
They're always no. I don't want to be in a gang because I'm afraid of the beat in, and I'm afraid of the beat out because eventually I'm gonna get sick of those people.
You don't get beat out. You get killed.
Killed, yeah. But they call it a beat out. That's what they tell you. Like, yeah, just come on. We got to redo the initiation, and then you died. But I think birds are cool because the seagulls are always stealing people's shit at the beach and they don't give a fuck. Like they'll just sweep by and get some food.
And they live on the beach.
That's cool. They're flying rats.
Yeah. You're going to the beach, you'll see seagulls
Pelicans are rad as shit. I don't give a fuck. The way they dive.
Pelicans are cool because
they've got like a pool in their mouth.
Yeah. They like swallow and then they pop it back out.
Yeah.
Birds are weird.
You're like, psych.
I know a lot of people. My mom hates birds. Like she's freaked out by them.
Baby birds are disgusting.
I know you.
Most baby animals are adorable.
Most baby animals fall in the baby bird category where they're just gross and wet and like pink.
Maybe like the second they're born, but they get cute pretty fast. And baby birds are just gross for a long time.
My little sister had a rabbit.
Kangaroos. Those are gross.
Really? Yeah, they sound gross because I'm pretty sure it takes a while to get to look like a kangaroo.
They get like born, but they gotta like crawl into the pouch, and the pouch is like fucking.
That is gross.
Like all this way up and shit, and their mom doesn't even fucking help them or anything. It's just like
nature's wild.
Yeah, that's true.
Mother Nature's a biatch.
Yeah. I don't know. They're cool. I like them. Anything. If it was any animal, I think they were cool. I think if it was any animal that was just calm with people, like if there were two squirrels that were just totally cool with you walking up to them, they didn't dart off like all the other dickheads, I would be like, those are some cool ass squirrels.
That's a pretty good reason they've learned to probably dart away from humans.
Yeah, we're not
easily the most destructive force they're going to face in their life.
Yeah,
they're just stupid birds.
Like if there were two bears outside our door, and
what if they're just mentally challenged?
That's right.
That's fine. To me, that's cool because they can't tell me. Like, they're not going to do anything that I'm ever going to be like, God, those birds are stupid. I'm just going to be like, man, those guys are totally cool with me. They don't give a fuck at all. That's cool.
Learning disabilities or something.
Yeah.
Smoke Perp is dyslexic, and Christ the Conqueror, I don't know what's wrong with him.
Christ the Conqueror.
He had to redo the third grade a couple times.
Yeah, he got held back in bird school.
There's a comma after Christ. So he's Christ the Conqueror, you know? Yeah. He's a cool bird.
Pause there.
Yeah, I think if there were two rabbits there, they'd both get cool names, and they would be like, "Man,
rabbits are cool."
Yeah, rabbits are cool because they just the way they move is fun to watch. They just like they hop away.
Too.
I've never ate rabbit before. Never ate rabbit before.
I haven't had too many like things outside of like beef and pork and chicken.
Yeah.
I've had deer before. It's pretty good.
Well, you don't like seafood, do you?
I don't like seafood.
I like a lot of seafood.
You like seafood?
Seafood's good.
Yeah.
The only problem with seafood is if I look out my window and I can't see the ocean.
Yeah, but I like it.
You're not ordering a fillet of fish at McDonald's.
Like everywhere we
Probably
went.
not.
Yeah.
Probably
Well, okay,
not.
that's different. I mean, like
fresh seafood is really good.
Like if we weren't on a budget, I probably because I did that one place Sharky's. I forget what I got, but it was seafood. It was like a. I fucking forget what.
It's like some kind of wasn't it some kind of fish burger?
Yeah, it was something like that. That was really good.
Fish burger.
Yeah. I mean, I would have. We were on a budget. We were on a budget.
All those fish people like on SpongeBob, like they're the ones that end up in the fish burgers.
Yeah.
I would always assume. I mean, what else would they put in them?
No one eats sponges. That's the only reason SpongeBob is a show.
He's even made it this far.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you use those for?
Plus, he lives in a pineapple under the city.
Yeah.
I live in a pineapple.
If I saw a pineapple house, I mean, don't fuck with that guy. He constructed a house to look like a pineapple.
But Patrick lives under a rock.
Yeah. But who eats starfish? Nobody.
Yeah, but I mean,
They're probably poisonous.
yeah. You can cut like all their arms off and they'll grow back.
Yep.
Yeah, if we could eat that shit, we'd have an infinite supply of food.
That's what the vegans want. No,
I don't think starfish is considered vegan.
No,
I think it's still
that's
considered
vegetarian.
animal.
I
Yeah.
guess.
No, I'm pretty sure they're considered animals still. I don't think
No, vegetarians eat fish.
What are you talking about? No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Pescatarians.
Yeah.
A real vegetarian, I don't think even eats fish. But people will say, "I'm a vegetarian, but I eat fish and eggs and cheese and stuff." But that's not really being a vegetarian.
Well, vegan I know is like absolutely no product.
I always just thought vegetarian was like
eggs, cheese, dairy of any kind. That's vegan.
Vegan
right?
would be hard.
But vegetarian means no meat.
Yeah.
That means no meat, no birds, no fish, no mammals, no nothing.
Vegans got bread though. I've realized from that diet we did a while back, the no carb thing, bread is like everything. Bread is so good.
Yeah,
I love bread.
I'm actually on my wife is on a no carb diet, like keto or whatever the heck it is.
That works so fast.
And so I'm on some kind of like almost keto thing.
Right.
Like I'll eat some carbs, but I basically gave up just the stuff I like to eat. You know?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what a diet is. If you give up everything you normally eat and like to eat, you'll just lose weight because you're just like you look at a handful of nuts, you're just like I don't want to fucking eat that.
Yeah, so you go as long as you can without eating.
So you just don't eat like I don't eat cookies or any of that.
Cookies are so good.
Or chips or anything. Like today, my son and I spent the day out goofing off, driving around, and he loves to eat out. So we're like, he's like, let's go to this barbecue. So he's like, I can eat barbecue, right? So I just don't eat the accoutrement.
Yeah.
You know, I just ate the meat. Actually, I got a big salad with like brisket on top. It was really good.
But that's pretty good.
Is that place in Peachtree City? I'm so terrible.
I've probably been there, but I can't remember.
It's over there by the Sprouts.
Yes, I've been there.
It's like a chain. It's better than Dick's or whatever
it
the
is,
chain is.
yeah.
We can bleep that out too, but
I think it's okay.
Dickies.
Yeah.
It's better than Dick's. Anything tastes better than a dick.
I wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't.
I've never tasted it.
I'm just imagining.
Yeah.
I never tasted anybody else.
Dicks and vaginas are like Cokes and Pepsis.
Yeah, it's the same.
I strongly prefer one, but Miles thinks they taste the same.
Yep. I actually don't think they taste the same. I don't prefer one over the other. I think I can tell they taste different. I just not talking about dicks and vaginas, talking about Coke and Pepsi now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you
No.
trying to tell me something?
No, I'm not. I'm talking. I just got sidetracked. I forgot to lay down all the bases. I'm just talking about Coke and Pepsi.
You don't think they taste the same?
I don't think they taste the
they
same. I just don't think one tastes better than the other. Like if
Pepsi?
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Pepsi's
what
a
I
lot
mean.
sweeter.
Pepsi is a lot sweeter.
Pepsi's definitely
So
That's
sweeter.
but I don't
Coke
like
better, though.
if I
Coke
go to a
is better.
place that's like we just have Pepsi. I'm like that's fine. That's what I want.
I really don't like either of them right now.
Yeah.
I
you a
loved
Pep guy?
Coke for a long time, but then I was like, every time I drink it, I'm just like, this isn't that good. It's not adding that much to.
I think I told this in the last time I was over here, but I quit drinking Diet Coke and all that stuff.
Smart.
It's just you get to a point in your life where you're like, dude, I'm not getting any healthier. This is it. I'm way past the pinnacle of my healthiness.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy. Go to Walmart. You don't want to be one of those people.
No.
So at some point you just got to let stuff. You just got to go.
Yeah.
Or you're literally trading everything just so you can eat some carbs and fucking eat dessert and have a Coke. I mean, it just ain't worth the trade. Ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. You know what I mean? If it's worth it to you, then have fun with your diabetes, and that's what you're gonna get.
Absolutely.
I mean,
type 2 diabetes is totally preventable.
Type 2 diabetes is completely preventable, but
this podcast is sponsored by
type 2
diabetes.
Liberty Diabetes.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? Yeah, Wilbur Bradley.
Diabetes.
I had diabetes.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then just stop drinking. Stop
People
drinking so much fucking Mountain Dew.
Had my foot cut off last week.
I keep smashing my ankle into this table.
Yeah, stop doing that. I bet we can hear it.
So we're not done with my neither regions yet because I got a CAT scan done, right? So it was crazy enough getting an ultrasound, right? You know what an ultrasound is?
It's like when they look for the baby when you're pregnant.
Well, what they do is they have
put the stuff on your belly?
Well, it wasn't my belly.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
You had somebody like rubbing stuff onto your nether regions?
It was a female.
Was it nice?
Oh, okay. Did you
nice under different circumstances.
I don't ask
it
this.
wasn't great.
I don't ask this to be weird, but just to make the situation. Did you get an erection while she was?
No.
Okay, cool.
It's like it's really hard. It's harder than you think because it's like so. It's just uncomfortable.
Did she tell you ahead of time? Like she's like, if you do, it's fine. I don't.
No, they never say anything like that. And
they keep it totally like.
This isn't my first go around with this sort of stuff, but no, she was like, you're laying on this thing and you have on just the gown at this point. And she gives you a towel and says, now lift up your penis and push it up this way and then put it under that towel. Because she don't even want to know about it. Right?
Okay.
So then you do all that. And then and basically she's got your nut and just going. And it's like a thing about the size of like your mouth right there. And it's got basically has a condom over it that's shaped because they put that gel all over it.
Right.
Then they're like.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot less.
Rubbing around.
Yeah.
But of course it was uncomfortable because she's mashing it in there trying to get pictures of what's going on. And so it was uncomfortable. So yeah, it wasn't.
It's never okay.
It was cold. It was, it wasn't a great time.
Even if they're
not something you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Even if they're attractive, it's not fun.
No.
Well, I didn't say that thinking that it was good. Just like a natural trigger.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. And no, that wasn't.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
You got to really be in the right frame of mind. Or
you gotta be thirsty as fuck.
Like, you gotta be a real freak.
Starved.
to happen, I think.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. So anyway, but so that didn't really. They didn't see everything they wanted to see with that. So then they went for the CAT scan, and so after that, which that's freaking weird too. Have you ever done that before?
Is
it's
that
almost like it's like the worst Disney ride ever.
Was it like a whole body thing? Like they put your whole body in the tube?
No, it's like a giant bagel. A giant white bagel looking thing, and then you lay down. But the bed for it is like 20 feet long, and you lay on this bed and you put your arms. And actually, the worst part was putting my arms up over my head for that long. I could hardly bring them back down. I was like, oh, my arms were killing me when I tried to come. Anyway, so you go through, but the bed moves. The big thing stays where it is, and the bed just moves in and out. Yeah. And she goes, now it's going to feel pretty warm, and you're going to think, some people say it feels like they're peeing on themselves, but you're not peeing on yourself. At that point, I was thinking, I had to pee really bad. So I was like, maybe I will.
Maybe I'll be the first.
Maybe I'll be the first.
Maybe I will. It's a long way to the bathroom. Right. I'm tired of that. So they did that. But anyway, they found out, the doctor goes, oh, by the way, he's reading me all this stuff, and he's like, yeah, you have a hernia. It's going to be this. You got to do this. Here's a surgical consult. We're going to give you this. And he's like, do you want pain meds? And I'm like, no thanks. He's like, here's Motrin, And then he's like, oh, by the way, you have kidney stones. I was like, oh yeah?
Okay,
he's like, yeah, they're still attached. They're in your kidney, and they're attached in there. Mm-hmm. And they don't cause any trouble until they break loose and kind of bounce around, and then you pass them or whatever. Right. And he's like, and you'll know that it's a kidney stone because it's, and then he's like, it's going to hurt, but only on one side of your back. And it's going to be excruciating pain. Everybody's heard that. Like, that's like the worst pain, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, it'll be excruciating. You'll know what it is. And I'm like, so is there anything I can do to keep, now, like, if I'm in a car accident, is that going to knock them all loose? Am I facing months of misery from one, if I get kicked by a horse, am I just going to be in hell the rest of my life? Or what's going on,
So the excruciating pain is passing them or just having them loose in there?
I think even having them in there.
Oh, really?
Well, terrible.
It's I've heard it's like going from the kidney to the bladder is excruciating. Like going through that too, which like will make your back hurt. And then I don't know. I've heard people where it's like that's the worst part, and then passing them like is actually not that bad. and I've heard the other ways or both ways. I don't know.
I can't imagine passing them can be described as not that bad. Like,
all I know is that like my grandfather had them, and well, I don't think my dad ever did, or I've never heard of them having them. But I know that it's the kind of thing, you know, a lot of the stuff that we eat that we shouldn't be eating is basically what starts.
And like I think a lack of adequate water. Like if you
That's
don't
right.
drink
I've
water
heard
for a long
energy
time,
drinks make that shit.
A lot of soft drinks,
Yeah.
like Mountain
it's a
Dew,
buildup
stuff
of
like
calcium. I think is what
Yeah.
it is.
that. Yeah.
But I think that tube that goes from your bladder to your kidney is actually smaller than your urethra, and that's why it
And
can
that's
hurt.
where
Yeah.
it's gonna freaking hurt.
Yeah.
So I got that going for me. So I'm just saying. So now I got this ticking time bomb. You know?
At least
Got
it's
that
not.
going
I mean,
for me.
it's gonna be
Speaking
horrible, but it's
Well, he
not
said-
life threatening.
He said basically that it's not guaranteed that any of them will ever break loose either.
Right.
It's like it just wanted you to know that you have some in there. I was like,
Can't they break them up with like sound waves or something
yeah,
like that?
yeah, but that ain't free.
Right.
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 I see.
Yeah.
It's not like now go to our sound wave room and we'll knock those out on your way out and we'll bill you in a month. You
Yeah.
know, no, it's going to be.
That's like a pretty
might be less
expensive
painful just to go ahead and have a damn kidney stone.
Yeah.
You know. Speaking of calcium deposits, have you ever seen people get them in their salivary glands before?
I've gotten them in my tonsils before.
Yeah, that's a thing too. Yeah, I had
What
that
do you
in
mean by
my tonsils? It's like a little rock
Yeah, it's like a white.
that can form on your
Rock.
tonsils or in your salivary glands. I've actually got one going right now. Got a big ass fucking lump.
Ooh.
I've never had one
Wow.
there. Is it like under your tongue?
Yeah, it's like hard as a freaking little rock in there. So one time I just YouTubed and you can watch people pulling out their own and shit. One guy cuts it out and everything, and it's like a fucking rock, dude. Like
Yeah.
a piece of gravel that came out of the.
Is that what people call tonsil stones? Is that what those are?
Yeah, that's what those are.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
that's what those were.
But they can
Like,
also come. They can also be inside your mouth, in your salivary gland. So it's like calcium deposits. Or
Yeah, because it like that's why like right on the back of your bottom teeth, you get a lot of buildup of plaque there because it's shooting that stuff out and it's just like building up all right there at the bottom
Yeah.
and back of your teeth.
huh?
That and then people tend to, I think, probably forget to.
Yeah, probably that
Brush
too.
the teeth.
I'm just brushing the part you can see.
Yeah.
Does anybody brush in small circles? I don't. I'm just back and forth. Just
Oh, I'm in there.
Yeah.
I do, but they hammer that into your head pretty good now. Like especially in public school. Public school, they used to
Not
have
me.
dentists come to the school. Like they would do this every year in elementary school a lot. And they would flossing. She would just dip her whole hand in a glove in peanut butter, and then like get all the peanut butter out from her fingers with floss, and be like, "That's all that shit that y'all aren't getting. It's gross." And then they would be like,
I don't know about that.
they would. I'm telling you, they really wanted because it's a government. Public schools are government stuff, so they're
Right.
trying to get all their kids to brush their teeth. They don't have to spend so much money fixing people's teeth.
They just put fluoride in the water.
Well, they do that too, but
They do that to keep us docile.
oh yeah, that's right. Don't drink tap water.
What about,
2018.
dude? What about the things in the sky?
Chemtrails,
The
dude.
chemtrails.
Dude, the
Yeah.
chemtrails, dude, and the crop circles.
It's all connected.
Don't forget the crop circles, dude.
No, but they have
I've
used.
never
like-
seen-
I've never
fluoride.
seen a plane leave that trail before. It's not
They're
natural.
just there. I mean, don't get me started on conspiracy theories.
This is.
I
I'm
love a
telling
good
you,
conspiracy theory.
I hate conspiracy theories.
they have me saying "Happy Birthday" in my head, doing the little circles, and it's cool because I got
Oh,
nice
yeah,
teeth. Yeah, but they hammer that shit in there. Like they will show you the
good.
grossest like his mouth. They'll show you that in pictures, and they'll be like,
Oh.
"This will happen to you right quick." Like
If I
you will
saw that
never.
mouth when I was young, I would.
Yeah,
brush my
they
teeth 6 times a
hammer
day.
I
that
wouldn't
shit
have been
home.
hanging out here this long. With you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta brush my teeth again.
You gotta go check yourself. I gotta.
Do you guys like? I floss my teeth when I'm driving a lot.
Not when I'm driving. I never have I done any
That's
teeth
kind of
stuff
a weird
outside
thing
of
I
my
do.
bathroom or someone
I have
else's.
like a
Do you
thing
have
of
those, do you have
floss.
those picks or whatever?
No, I have like the string floss.
You're-
And I'm driving with my knee. Like,
Why?
especially after like if I'll eat.
Oh,
you
okay,
know,
that's-
and then I'll drive and I'll be like, there's something in my teeth. And I'll drive and I'll have the floss. I have the floss thing like in the pocket of the door, and I get it out and I just start flossing.
I was
while
gonna say, you
driving.
know, you got it when you like somehow rig it up to where you can just pull it, like restock it and like,
Right.
click it in or whatever.
I had my
The floss
dentist
I
install
have.
it for me last
Yeah,
time.
he
I
has
was
it in his
there.
car.
Got
so he can-
that little miniature toilet bowl you can spit in and shit.
No, I should get some of those
Got
little
those
picks
tiny
though.
cone cups. You can't
Rinse.
set down anywhere.
Rinse.
I got a little Mr. Thirsty in the car. Just
Dude, you're gonna get a ticket sometime for flossing while driving. That's gonna be awesome, dude.
is that technically illegal? I'm
No.
sure it's not like
Anything
flossing while
distracting.
driving. Yeah, exactly. It's like
They can.
I
they
mean,
can do whatever
they
want.
passed that. You know what? That law now that we have where you can't check your phone while you're
you can't
driving.
even touch your phone.
I freaked myself out because I was driving and I picked up my phone. I was just at a light and there's a car behind me. And I didn't realize it was a cop. But I guess because I forget our police don't give a fuck. I freaked myself out. I have my phone looking here, and I was just changing the song, and I was checking Twitter, and I messaged people back on Discord. And all that shit. It was.
You were just sitting at a light though.
It was a long light. Yeah, I was just checking some stuff. And then I saw the thing, I was looking up in my rearview mirror, I saw the thing on top of the car, and I was like, oh, and I just tossed it on the floor of the passenger seat. And then, like, 2 minutes later after the light, I was going 55 on Bullsboro because I knew he was behind me, and he passed me, like, blew past me, and he was going, like, 70 or some shit, and I was like, that dickhead.
And of course, he's on his phone and on a laptop.
And I was
all at
like,
the same
cops are the
time.
biggest dicks in the world, because I bet if I was keeping up with him, he would have fucking pulled my ass over, and I bet if he noticed,
Yeah, again though, doing that with passing a cop while you're speeding is like saying the N word.
Yeah, no, I know.
We
You
all
shouldn't
know
do
not
it.
to do it.
I'm just saying, when you see a
pull
cop,
you over just on general principle.
yeah, but if you see
you're
a cop
fucking
blow
idiot.
past you and go way over the speed limit, because I was going the speed limit on
Yeah,
Bullsboro.
well, what the fuck? You can do it. Just
You
like
got-
why do we get free pizza? Because we can.
Yeah, but he got like, in a minute, I couldn't see him over the horizon because he was going so fast.
Oh, I'm sure he had a fucking emergency to get to.
Krispy
Krispy Kreme
Kreme
light
sauce.
was on.
We both went
Hot
there.
donuts in Riverdale.
Yeah.
It was like, what? You can get a dozen for $1?
So big.
They did that the other day. Krispy Kreme was giving away a dozen donuts for $1.
How many
Wendy's.
cops did you see there?
But there's no Krispy Kreme around here.
Oh,
Sad.
that's right. We don't have any.
But Wendy's was giving away free chicken tenders on Friday, and all you had to do was say "winner, winner, chicken tender," and they would you had to say that.
You didn't tell me about
And
this?
they would I didn't know till it was too late.
Wow. That's what I was going to say. I'm broke. You could have told me. I would have got some
I'm
free
sorry,
food.
I would have gotten it too. I didn't even know they had chicken tenders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Winner, winner, chicken tender.
Yeah.
What are we at on the timestamp, boy?
Oh, we're at a minute. We're at an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
We're doing pretty good. And I think most of it, I don't really see too many edits being need to be made other than like some bangs on the table.
Should we wrap it up or we go for a little bit longer?
You wrap it up? You feeling pretty good?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? You got any more topics you want to cover?
Not really anything interesting. There was just like the topics that I was like, if there's nothing else, I'll just bring this up.
Huh.
We talked about some my health problems for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talked about
That was
your
good.
Talked about the
pot
birds.
brownies.
Talked
Brownies.
about
Brownies.
Birds and the brownies.
The only things I had left were the fact that MoviePass. I just like went like through
All the shit you thought was
like,
interesting.
Interesting news or whatever. Just keep it,
All right, hit it with it.
Current-
Rapid fire. Read every
Rapid
topic
fire.
you have left, and me and
I
Dan will
have
give
two.
you.
I
All
have
right,
two.
we'll both give you a 5-word response.
Dude,
All right.
we got it's a lightning round.
Yeah, lightning round. Go for it.
We'll have a
Right
lightning
now.
round.
lightning round. We
Read
got
me your topics, and we'll
Okay.
give you a 5-word response.
MoviePass ran out of money.
Serves them right for changing. There you go. Easy.
For changing.
Yeah, because you can't reuse it for the same movie.
Yeah, but you still get all unlimited movies for $10.
They deserve it. Dan, go ahead. Where's your
I
5?
love-
Yeah, so clearly they weren't charging enough.
Yeah,
That's pretty much what that boils down to.
Easy.
You should charge more and keep
Easy.
the service.
I think it's a great business model. Just waste someone else's money as fast as possible.
Movie Pass,
Right.
hire us.
It ain't good for them though, obviously.
They ran out of money and instantly borrowed $6.2 million to cover people going to see Mamma Mia 2.
Oh yeah.
Movie Pass,
All
hire
the-
us. We'll fix your shit. Bring us the papers, and we'll
All
tell
the
you what
women
you're
folk
voting
in my
on.
house went and saw that, and they just freaking love it. They're like,
Sure,
"You want to go
sing
see
it
that?"
all
And
the
I'm like,
time.
I'm never watching that. I'm never gonna watch The Greatest Freaking Showman.
Don't say that.
gayest show.
Look,
Right.
Jason will come find you. He'll
Jason
break your neck.
saw that movie 4 times.
He adores that movie.
They must be serving heroin in that movie because my wife and kids cannot get enough of that, dude. I think they went to the theater and saw it like literally 4, 5, 6 times.
You know what? Jason had me go see it with him and Caitlin because he was like, "You're gonna love it." It was fantastic. It was okay. It was whatever. I'm never gonna go
It's a
see it again.
musical.
Probably. I'm not a musical guy. I don't think. But I mean, the best part about it probably was just Hugh Jackman in some funny clothes doing some crazy shit.
Tunes,
Yeah.
show tunes.
Yeah, it was.
Zendaya was really pretty.
Yeah, but I mean that's she could do that in anything.
I'll go see any movie with her in it. I'll be honest.
Fucking poon. What's it called? What's the word?
Hound?
Poon hound? Is that what it is? Is that phrase? Because that doesn't sound. That's what I thought first, but in my head I was like, that doesn't sound like a thing people say.
Dude likes to see beautiful women.
Yeah. Shame on you.
Who doesn't? Even other women love to see beautiful women.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
All right, next topic. Hit me.
Kenyan officials tried to relocate 11 black rhinos. 10 of them died, and the last was attacked by a lion.
All right, 5 words.
You don't have to do 5 words. Just give me a short.
Those fucking rhinos are done, man. They're never. Their whole like. How many are left in the world if it wasn't those 11?
Well, they were like, they're going extinct, and so they're like, we'll move these 11 to create a new herd and try to help out the world rhino population. And apparently they didn't test the water where they were moving them because there's too much salt in the water and they all died of dehydration. And then the last remaining one was attacked by a lion.
I mean, like, is there a camera on them? Was there just footage of them going, doom, doom, like all of them just falling over on their sides?
The only footage I saw was just a lone rhino just tore up running over a hill.
Oh my god. I mean, that's depressing.
That's pretty sad. But
what are you gonna do?
Are you sure it was the water and maybe it wasn't like the LAPD heard about black rhinos?
I don't know. I mean,
he's got a horn. Put down the horn.
Put down the horn, black rhino. Black
Poor guy's just got both his fucking.
Like, I
can't put it down. It's on my head.
It's okay. The whole LAPD was let off with promotion.
I mean, and it sucks to be a rhino too because either you're gonna get dehydrated by the Kenyan officials or some dentist from fucking
That's gotta suck being the guy who organized that. It's like
he probably really felt passionately. Yeah, it's all he wanted to do.
The best I could.
Let's
forgot the fucking water.
Every
time I
do water's water, right?
Yeah. What if some intern fucked that up? Like everything was perfect and went smoothly, and they were just like make sure.
Water, right?
Yeah, and he was like, "Gotcha."
Sure, I did, boss. No problem.
Yeah.
Then from now on, the guy's wife is like, "Hey, honey, while I'm up, you want something to drink? Not water."
You can roast.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks. All right, was that all you had?
I had one more.
Okay.
Mars is the closest it's been to the Earth in 15 years.
Oh yeah. And we can't see it because
we still can't see it.
Now's
so cloudy.
your chance, Elon Musk. Get it? 5
What?
words. Now's
Why are
your
you doing
chance,
this 5-word
Elon Musk.
things?
You don't have to do 5
You don't have to use 5 words. It's a
I'm
podcast.
Because it was the rapid fire round. I thought that's what we were doing.
It just means
talk faster.
fast.
All right, talk faster. All right. If Elon Musk really wants to take over Mars and be the president of Mars, now is his time.
Now's the time.
There's
he
never
wants
been a
to be
better
the first
time.
person to die on Mars. That's his life dream. And I say, go like right
But
now.
leave
let's
us in
launch
your
his
will.
ass up there right now.
Leave us in your will, though, because we were the ones who supported you the
love
most.
you.
Yeah. I'm out on Twitter fighting people every day just for you. I'm not, but I
he
could
fights
be.
himself.
Yeah, he
Did we
does.
talk about him about how he sold the Teslas or whatever with no dealerships? Did y'all know that story? That like,
No, yeah.
in the U.S., like you have to have a dealership to sell a car.
Mm-hmm.
If it's more than just a few, like hand-built cars, or whatever. So he's trying to sell thousands of cars, no dealership. So what he did was he sold subscriptions to like the Tesla newsletter, and they cost $149,000, and you got a free car.
That's awesome. That's brilliant.
There you go.
So you gotta love the guy for that.
Yeah,
No,
I
nice,
admire.
Sidestepping bullshit laws.
Yeah.
You love it.
That's what I love about him. He's just like a doer. He was just like looking out at the parking lot one day and said, "How long would it take for us to relocate all these employees so I can dig a hole in that parking lot?" And they said 6 weeks, and he said, "Let's do it in 8 hours." And then he did it. I think that's awesome.
It is. If he would just get off Twitter, he'd be such a cool fucking guy. Because you see him on Twitter trying to fight. I don't think he's built for Twitter. Because
like,
people
I create jobs, you pedophile.
Yeah, that was a big fuck up. Like
you can't say
if he just got off Twitter and have you seen the pictures of him with Grimes?
No,
it's not good. It's not great.
Let's look him up right now.
Look him up.
Computers for him.
She's the singer that he's dating. He went to they got the first time anybody saw him was at the Met Gala, I think.
That was the first time they were seen together?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Grimes,
if I remember right. But she's a lot younger looking than him, which is cool, like get your money, get your girl if you really want to. But she looks crazy, and she's like this crazy goth chick, and he's this older business guy, and so it's such a weird match.
I just wanted a bigger image.
Whoa.
I mean, the
That's,
picture is the one up right of directly above that one to the right of it. That one that people just saw them. They look crazy together.
Like a dad and his daughter.
Yeah, they look like a dad and his daughter.
That's cutouts or something.
Yeah,
Those are cutouts.
This is
But
them together.
that's them together. They don't. They look like it's photoshopped just because of how
What
different they
billionaire
look.
doesn't get to middle age and trade in his 40 for 220s? Though? I mean,
Is that kind of like?
it's just what you
It's
do.
it's what you do, but it's like it's weird. Anytime any dude gets any amount of money, first thing he does.
I don't
is
get
have
it
a young
either. Because if
girlfriend.
I'm already comfortable with somebody, why would I ever? Like,
Yeah, and when you stop and consider that a lot of young girls are probably the most annoying people on the friggin' planet.
Yeah, really.
it's
It
not
would
your
be-
match. Yeah.
You really have to overlook an
Yeah.
awful lot.
I
Like-
remember being in high school and thinking like 18 years old was old and like grown up, and now I'm like, if I talk to an 18-year-old girl, dude, they
It
just
just
annoy the
makes
shit
me
out of
Yeah.
me.
want to run away.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I'm only
Well,
20.
you're only 20
Yeah.
years old,
I
but you're still like, I mean, you know, I'm sure you get annoyed by a lot of these girls.
Well, I get annoyed by people in general sometimes. It just
True,
depends.
true,
It's like
true.
it's got to be a match. But that's what I'm saying. Like if you found somebody that you liked enough to marry, and you grow old with them, and you're able to spend that much time with them, it's like that's a rough trade in, man. You gotta go.
Because it's funny too when you say old and young. A lot of that's relative.
It is relative.
For as
Absolutely.
well as he's doing, he's young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not like he's
He's not like a
he's not
terrible
like
looking
Warren
dude.
Buffett or somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
that would be. This is his who he was dating before.
She looks nice though. Like
why would you?
yeah.
Why wouldn't you date like super hot famous chicks if you could? You would. 9 out of 10 guys would. Hugh Jackman is the guy who wouldn't, but the rest. Of
But Hugh Jackman seems like a cool guy though. He seems
Does
like
he-
a more down to earth person.
What's his wife isn't famous or good looking? No.
That was a face, man. That was a face.
She looks like a grandma.
Well, I mean,
Well, they are. I mean, how old is he? He's like.
He's a lot older.
he's
than
up there.
50, 60s.
He's up there.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure they got memories together. That's a lot of. I'm saying that's a lot to break off just to be like.
Yeah. I mean, like I wouldn't leave my wife because I was famous. That's ridiculous.
But you see it happen so much. It's like how that's
Well,
crazy.
It's because that kind of stuff. It lets you do what you really want to do. A lot of people are doing what
And
they
you think
do
most
because
guys
they
are
don't
just
have
pretty-
choices.
Yeah.
And feel like they don't have the choice. You know what I mean? After
Mhm.
all, if you're a man and you get divorced, you know you're not going to get custody of your kids. You know you're going to lose over half your shit, if not all of your shit. I mean, you might as well just stay married. You know,
Yeah.
if you're not so unhappy that it's just you just can't do it another day.
Oh, look at them together.
She looks like the mom from.
I know exactly
They
what
don't
you're
look
talking about.
they don't look that incompatible right there.
No.
But I've seen other pictures where
But that one.
yeah,
one's
where
worse.
she's definitely older than him.
Yeah.
She looks like Stifler's mom from American Pie.
That's kind of beautiful
That's
though.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks nice there. I just saw a picture of her like him. They were in bathing suits or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's obviously like.
Yeah, he's like whatever.
He's crazy.
2% body fat.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
He's got a very young face too. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure he's
He can.
He's fucking Wolverine. He can heal himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Paul Rudd.
he's-
He
oh,
just
Paul Rudd
will
doesn't
never age. Or like Pharrell Williams will never age. Until the day he ages, and then he'll age a lot probably.
Yeah.
Both of them.
True. All right.
Some
so
people
should,
just get it. Yeah, we should wrap it up. We
wrap
should
it up?
1 minute and 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's not bad. That's a good time.
Did you stop it already?
No, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
Like
that's right.
this has been the
All right,
TODcast.
this is TODcast episode 3.
Yeah,
We'll talk to you next time.
I've been Miles.
And I'm still Dan.
I'm Justin.
I changed.
Bye.
All right, bye.